What's going on, everybody? Let's see how many people we got in the room waiting already. We got 27 waiting, but the video has officially started. And right now, there we go. So right now we got 28 watching. If you in the chat, put a one in the chat if you're in the chat. Y'all know we got a cigar for the show. This is a Ashton Churchill. This is a light cigar because I cannot smoke the strong ones while we doing the show because I will forget everything I'm supposed to talk about. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content, the diversity of me going around cutting hair. I got a cat. I get it tomorrow though. I got a cat that will be on the show. Okay, we got a good amount of people that's in the chat already that'll be on the show. And I will be cooking. I went grocery shopping because I'm tired of spending money going out. But I will be cooking and I will show you guys. I might cook a Swahili meal or I'll just cook something that I used to cook in the States. Either way it goes, I'm just adding to the content. We adding one wheel if you're in the chat. Right now we got 48 people. We'll start the show around 100 people. We're going to have a special guest come in today, give his opinion. We may or may not do a call in at the end of the show. It depends on how things are going. But we're going to set this record straight because this is a good debate that you guys like to go back and forth with me on. I've gotten a lot of insults. I've gotten a lot of everything behind this choosing signal versus code approach thing. So we're gonna see everybody's opinions in the comments and see what's really going on and see what y'all really think. Also, we do have a show goal today, which is $200 US. So if you guys would like to see more Kenyan content, me traveling around Kenya, you only need to donate $1 to the Cash App, which is scrolling at the bottom is $ Auston Holleman. Or you can send a super chat. Just know that I won't be getting those for until next month, until the third week of next month. Right now we got 91 people watching. He said he smoked a cigar last night. He almost passed out. Yeah, if you get those strong ones, like believe it or not, my energy was a little down. My energy was up. I smoked a cigar and I was like, shit, I probably shouldn't have did that. But I'm good now. It could be a little higher, but I'm good now. Yeah, I won't be inhaling it. But since we got 103 people watching, for today's topic, it's about choosing signals versus code approaching, right? A lot of old heads love to get on my channel and critique me. It's not even old. Well, it mainly is old heads, actually, right? And I want y'all to know y'all grew up in a different time and the internet was not really a thing. And this applies almost just about worldwide. I tell dudes to work on yourself, get you a dress shirt like this, get your hair cut, get you some jewelry. You don't have to get tattoos, but tattoos help too. And then not only looks, but you need to have your personality right and your charisma right. That all goes together. But you should build yourself up to a point where you're not basically trying to convince women to want to talk to you. They should already have some level of interest when they come in your face or you come in their face. The Art of Will sent $5 on Cash App, and he says, for injera is an acquired taste and avoid keepful. Tell me what that is, because I don't know what that is. Both of those things, injera and keepful. Now, the way how I like to go about when I go out and approach, right? Now I will say this, there is sometimes you may see somebody that you really like or they might not notice you, so they can't send a choosing signal because they don't even know you in the area of the room. But you may have to walk up and introduce yourself and say something. You want to say something flirty regardless, actually. But you might have to go up and introduce yourself first. Okay, we all know that that's what we've been doing for hundreds of years, from my understanding, or at least in the States. Choosing signals do not mean that I want them to approach me. That's not what that means. Let's start there. I'm not saying I want anybody to approach me. I don't expect worldwide women are not going to approach you unless if you are Chris Brown or some superstar. Now women approach me now, especially here in Kenya, because they know who I am. So they'll come up to me and say, "Hey, I follow your YouTube, and if I want to talk to them, then I'll get their number." Then in that case, yes, that's not even a code. That is her approaching me. That's not a choosing signal or a code approach. But a choosing signal is when you out and you walk into a room and then she's constantly looking in your direction. We gonna get let me bookmark what he just asked. I'm gonna bookmark two things that Andre just said. Got to make sure we touch on those. She's constantly looking your direction. She may or may not smile, or she may just constantly look, or she'll make herself seen. She wants to make sure you see her, so she makes the approach easier for you. Okay? That's one version of a choosing signal. Or she could be very aggressive and just straight up wave at you, smile, speak to you, accidentally bump into you. But I know a lot of y'all don't know none of that. A lot of y'all are not familiar with any of that. A lot of y'all don't understand choosing signals because you don't get them. And that's why I say you need to work on yourself where people notice you, not because, oh, I'm going to do this so they can notice me, but do it for yourself. Go to the gym for yourself. Now, overseas, this is a real thing. In Brazil, it's for sure, goddamn sure, choosing signals are a real thing and they're very real. Here in Nairobi, they for sure are. Even in Mombasa, too, it happened too. In Senegal, I've seen it happen. It happens everywhere. But there's some places where the women seem to be a lot more bold than others, right? But if you are in the United States, you could be getting a choosing signal. I've had women speak to me, damn near stick their tongue out at me, right? I've had them damn near stick their tongue out at me. I go approach them, and they're basically in this mind. They might as well just say "f you" to my face. They're pretty much just like, oh, like, no, I'm just hanging out with my friends. I don't. That's in the States. That's a thing. Overseas, that's not. It happens, but I can count on one hand after 14 countries how many times that's happened this year and last year. So no, it's don't compare it to the States, because I see right here, Andre says if a woman approached, that's got to be a red flag, though, right? More than likely, yes. If you're a regular guy and you don't have clout, like, see, for me, it's different, right? Because they can have a conversation like, oh yeah, I watch your channel. They're expected to approach somebody that they follow, I guess, or that they recognize, right? But if you're a normal guy, like, let's use Andre for example. If I don't know if he has clout or not, right? But I don't think so. If you're somebody like Andre and a woman comes up and approaches you, there's usually a motive. Not always, but there's usually a motive, or she's a prostitute, or maybe she just the new age woman is kind of bold like that. The modern one. All right. So for some reason, Kenya has had the number one Wi-Fi that I've been to in Africa so far, but apparently my Wi-Fi went out. So I'm on my hotspot right now. Thank God for hotspots. Thank God for hotspots. But somebody also said that it depends on your social status. Yes, if you have a strong social status in that area where people might notice you or recognize you, then yes, if you cold approach, your chances are significantly higher. Like if I do that here in Nairobi and she's seen me online and she's interested, if I cold approach, then yes, then it's gonna go well in my favor. But I wouldn't say that though, because not everybody's gonna know you everywhere in the world. Like not I can go to Singapore and nobody probably recognize me because I don't think I have that. He said no more choosing signals. Choosing signals don't exist anymore. They do overseas, they do in the States, but usually in the States it's bullshit. Women have become accustomed to meeting dudes online. They're not flirting with strangers like that. Yes, in the States, a lot of cities, probably not all of them, but in the States, you may have women that don't know how to socialize or that are offended by approaching, or they call it harassment. That's why I told y'all to leave them alone, because to even be in a place where that's a possibility, where trying to introduce yourself to somebody is considered harassment, or even now, as far as I've heard, looking at women in the States is now considered harassment. That's why I don't have my ass over there. They got too much going on. Their culture is messed up and it's just not worth being over there anymore. That's definitely not happening over here, at least not what I've heard or seen and experienced myself. So that's all I have to say about that. We know what choosing signals are. For me, that's my go-to. I do both. Paul knows that I do both because I've done it while I'm on the phone with him. If I see somebody I like and they don't notice me, I will go introduce myself. I can tell you, like 90% of the women, first of all, you're going to get rejected probably 60% of the time. 60%, maybe 80. But will it go anywhere? No. In my opinion, no. The women that I've called, I think this year, out of all the women that didn't know I was in the room and I just walked up and introduced myself, it didn't go anywhere. They would give me their phone number and they text back, but you can tell by the text that they were never interested from the jump. But you let the people older than me, you let people like Paul tell you that, oh, that's the best you can get. Honestly, it depends on what you consider the best is. I consider the best who's going to give me the best experience. Me trying to convince you to talk to me is not the best experience. Here's something you can't argue with. I like somebody that has a mutual interest. All this shit about you gotta have game when you walk up on them and all that. Okay, look, I'm not in the running game. I think game and charisma are different. I'm not here to trick anybody. I'm not here to. That's why when I run into bullshit, I can't follow through with them because I don't lie to women. I don't do all that. Now somebody said we never seen Paul with a pretty girl. Those over code approaching. Let's do that. Let's get everybody's opinion first. Y'all notice the people that are against choosing signals ain't in the comments right now? Yes, in Africa, you don't need game. You just need to. What's going on, DeSantos? You just need charisma and you need to be cool. You need to have some personality, something to talk about. I have that. I have plenty of stuff to talk about. I've been to 13 countries this year. Been to 14 countries, but I've been to 13 this year. I can't run out of stuff to talk about. There's always stuff to talk about. Put a one in the chat if you prefer choosing signals over code approaching. Because y'all know my opinion, code approaching is a waste of time. And when you code approach, you're more likely to run into somebody that's gonna have that get the hell out of my face attitude. Nobody wants to deal with that. I mean, y'all might like to. We got some ones in the chat. So let me give y'all some pushback. Y'all only want choosing signals because y'all want a woman to approach you. Y'all want choosing signals because y'all not bold enough, or you insecure, you're not confident enough. Cold approaching is only for the confident. Look, I'm confident. Y'all know I'm confident. Y'all know I'm confident. And I still think cold approaching is a waste of time. You have to cold. Arthur Will says you have to cold approach in East Asia. Only expat women will give you choosing signals. We're gonna turn this into a Q&A too, because I can see I can run through this topic pretty fast. Because nobody's giving me no pushback. I will agree. Places like Vietnam, I know that's not in East Asia, but places like Vietnam and the Philippines, you pretty much gonna have to cold approach. Everybody that said that, oh, they're very choosy in the Philippines. They wouldn't choose. I didn't see that. I never saw that. Cold approaching does work. It's just risky most of the time. Risky 90% of the time. And this is the way I think. I mean, I'm not gonna say I would never approach, because I do anyway. I would never approach a female unless I see some slight interest. If not, I won't do it. Yes. And it's usually my intuition is usually always right. I know when I should and should not cold approach. And usually I don't approach if I don't get a choosing signal, unless if I feel like I just really need to, or I gotta at least try to shoot my shot at her. Right. So if we're at a house party, let's say we're in the living room on the couch, if she doesn't look in your direction, I know some of y'all dudes will still try to approach her and then get shot down, which that's okay. I mean, that shouldn't kill your whole confidence. I mean, if you keep getting shot down, don't lie and say it won't kill your confidence, because it will. You'll start thinking something wrong with you. You in the wrong place. But y'all will sit there and talk to somebody for 15 minutes. And then eventually, here's the problem with cold approaching. A lot of women worldwide will give you their phone number just so you can get the hell out of their face. And then you'll be walking right like, yeah, I got her. You got her, but is she going to come through? Are you going to ever see her again? Probably not. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? Now, with choosing signals, yes, you can run into somebody, get their number, and then they still don't follow through. Like 10% of the time that may happen. Majority of the time, if they choose it and you strike while the iron is hot, you're going to win every time. I like choosing signals because I'm used to women starting conversations with me everywhere since I was in high school. Well, that's a blessing, isn't it? I got this hat, that white hat that I had. I got it over here at the Junction Mall in Nairobi. I got a black one. I had them order me a black one. I got to get a black one. Real game is having charisma and not a mouth. Real game is having charisma and a mouthpiece, not manipulation. Exactly. So for all the dudes that like the cold approach, you have to manipulate the situation. I'm gonna give you a few examples, right? I cold approach recently, right? Like days ago and yesterday. And I've been doing it since I got back to Nairobi, to be exact. I seen somebody come out of an elevator. I don't think she saw me, but I saw her. And I was like, oh, she looked good. So I spoke to her. She kept, I told you about this other day. She kept walking. And I'm like, see, that's why I go off choosing signals. She looked back and then she kept walking. And then she looked back again and stopped. We talked for a minute. She seemed kind of and that's the problem I'm talking about, right? She was kind of A girl that chooses at you, when you approach them, they're not going to be they're gonna be interested because they already showed you that. They're gonna make it easy to get their number, easy to talk to them. Correct? Here go this guy in the comments. Let's start this shit. So you'll have that happen. Get her number, talk to her, can't set up a date, can't set up a time to meet, can't get them on the phone. That's all from cold approaching. When you work off choosing signals, the date sets up like that. It sets up like that because they're interested and they've already showed you that. I'm a firm believer that if women are interested and they've seen you, they don't hide it. women don't hide it when they're interested. That was my biggest thing in Brazil and in Kenya. When they see you, if they're interested, they don't hide it. Y'all like women that hide interest and y'all like to beg people to talk to you. You can have that shit by yourself. But I just seen a comment. I pull women that never showed interest to me until after I approached them. Or wait. I don't wait for choosing signals. I guess is what he's saying. Correct. I did leave room for that. Yes, when you cold approach, you do have sometimes where they didn't send a choosing signal, or maybe they didn't notice you. It happened to me in Thailand. I met an African chick in Thailand. We still keep in touch to this day. And she really turned out to like. She liked me immediately when I approached her. She didn't see me, but she immediately was into me. That's a rare scenario. Women are usually very aware of the men in the room. I'm not buying that bullshit. Rejection is a blessing in disguise. It can be. You usually are saving yourself out of some trouble. It usually does work that way. But what I'm not going to sit up here and say is, oh, yes, rejection. Even if you get rejected when you cope, like when I was in high school, we would go to Six Flags just to talk to girls, right? Even if you got rejected the first one you cold approach, it was an icebreaker. So now you like a little motivated to talk to the next one. Get rejected 3 or 4 more times in a row and see if you're in that bullshit. Oh, I'm motivated now. You're not gonna be motivated. Quit lying to yourself. See, y'all lying to yourself. You're focusing on the wrong things. Get your money up and women are easy. Okay. I do agree you should get your money up there because without the money, you're not gonna have nothing. Maybe in the States, because women in the States like they let a dude with no car and no job and drive their car while they working as a doctor at the hospital. But so that's how that works over there. But overseas, you do need money. You do have to have your stuff together because things work as have they have always worked for hundreds of years. Women can be. I mean, I don't know what you meant by when you say that they're easy. I didn't say that they were hard. The double look back is yes. This is another choosing signal that a lot of dudes miss. So I used to do this in Brazil a lot, right? If I would walk past one, and if I felt like, I don't know. I guess I would always know. You guys, if you've been watching me long enough, you know what I'm talking about. I would always be like, I know she gonna turn around when I walk past. I turn around, she's like this. That's not a cold approach. That's a choosing signal, but you have to catch that one. But what y'all would do is y'all turn around and she want to be looking at you. You go approach her, and then you get what you deserve. A passport isn't an easy button. A lot of y'all think competing with the Austons and QB passport flick. Exactly. Yeah, so just because, and don't come to Kenya thinking just because you got the passport. Auston, talk about the body game. What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that. Auston is a choosing signal when I stand over a girl when she's on the bench at the gym. uh, I don't know about it. I don't think I've done that one before. Dennis Gates, thanks for becoming a member. Thank you very much. They choose the hardest in Thailand. I love it. They do. That's a certain type of woman that's choosing over there. It's not free. Those choosing signals in Thailand usually cost. Sub also, you should review one of those new Kenyan-made SUV cars for a content video. One looks like a high-end Jeep Wrangler. I haven't seen. Actually, I think I do know what you're talking about. I'll check that out. Austin doesn't like the chase part of the game. You're absolutely right. I'm not saying I don't pursue. I'm not saying I won't send a good morning text. I'm not saying I won't pursue a date and try to set up some time with you. But what I'm not gonna do is use you guys AMS strategy of, oh well, if she doesn't set up the date, then you need to do this. You do. I'm not doing all that shit. If she was interested, it wouldn't be that hard to set up a date. But the same guys that are pro choosing signals think that you need to beg a woman to set up a date. Some of y'all should really go to Chiang Mai and test your game. Absolutely. Body game is working out, wearing clothes that show arms. So, yes, for example, right? A lot of people like to call, well, not a lot. Some people like to call me, especially the people in Ghana, they try to call me gay because I wear my shirt unbuttoned. When really the people saying they can't wear an unbuttoned shirt like me, let's just make that clear. This gets choosing signals. This, and I'm not doing it for that. I just like how this looks better than it being like this. I look very squarish like this. This looks very cool. It has a different perspective to it. The women send choosing signals when your shirt's like this. You're not getting no choosing signals like this, especially if you're not wearing no tie. Not button all the way up to the top like that. Don't ever interrupt a girl's conversation with her friend at the bar. Even if she likes you, she will reject you because she's there to gossip about her latest dating trauma. I would agree. And exactly. When I was in high school, which was from 2013 to 2017, right? You code approaching was still a thing where you had to go up and basically talk to whoever you wanted to. Choosing signals was like there, but it was barely there. Nowadays, yeah, that code approaching shit is over with. Maybe for you guys in y'all's 50s, that's a thing. I'm not dating 50-year-old women, so I don't know. I will agree that when I approach women in their 40s or 30s, I do get a better result with that. But if you rely on choosing, don't rely on one or the other. You use both. But I'm just saying one is better than the other. But you save time, number one, when you work off choosing signals. You save a lot of damn time. You save a lot of money too. Because y'all will code. Here's another problem with code approaching. Y'all will code approach somebody that hasn't showed you any interest and be over there buying drinks because she's selling you a small dream because she knows that if she sells you a small dream, you'll buy another drink to kick it with her, and then you will leave without the number or the wrong number. I believe I have the top 20% in my life, and um, even again, it's a waste of time. Where is the arguments at in the comments now? I did this live stream because I got a lot of heat. I've been getting a lot of heat for months now of my opinion on this. Now nobody's in the comments really disagreeing like they were before. So we'll give it 5 more minutes. We're gonna call it a W for the choosing signals and the L for the code approaches. And then we're gonna go to a Q&A. We'll do a Q&A. I'll throw a Q&A in the chat right now. Because y'all ain't got no smoke today. Code approach is a massive L. In 2023, it's a massive L. Travel time of Paul, he said he disagrees. Tell us why you disagree. But we're gonna bring in we have a special guest that wants to come in and talk. Well, he's not in the backstage yet, so we'll let somebody call in. I'll drop the call in for a few minutes until our guest comes through, and we can do a Q&A over a call in. Let's do that. If you disagree, call in. It's down there at the bottom. Austin, do you ever think you'll go to Sasua? I know you don't like pay for play, but the women there look absolutely stunning. I'll go. It probably won't. I'll go to Sasua. I probably won't be in Sasua for a long time, just because from what I see, it's kind of just like Pattaya with that pay for play. From what I see, I've never been there. This is bullshit. There is no right woman that you. I mean, there are some women that you can look at and tell you can't approach, but there's some that you can't approach, and it's still bullshit. I tried the cold approach. I was at Nairobi Street Kitchen on the top floor Thursday. It was this beautiful chick. And I was like, wow, I just got to say something to her. So I went over there and introduced myself. You know what she did to me? And this is in Kenya. She says, later, we'll talk later. I'm like, later? I told her, I said, there is no later. You have a good night. Later? What you think I'm going to go over there and sit in the back corner and wait on your ass? That's cold approaching, though. Choosing Signal wouldn't have said that. And again, if I cold approach and I can tell she's not interested, usually it takes me 5 to 10 seconds to walk away from you. I'll approach. If you don't show the right amount of energy, the right amount of interest, I'll walk off. I've seen some people in the comments say they'll sit there for 5 minutes and talk to them. It don't take 5 minutes to know somebody's not interested in you. You'll know immediately. No, it's not because I introduced myself. See, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to bring Jay Rillo in here. Let's see what he got to say.
What up, Auston? It's Jay Rillo, man. What's going on, bro?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You back in Kenya?
Oh, yeah. I'm back here for a while.
Hey, I got my own little channel, too, in the travel space. In the future, I'm going to try to hire you on my channel. I think it'll be a good look. I seen that you had put up a post about the $200 deposit because of the no-shows. I definitely saw that. So, yeah. So basically, the best way to book you in is just to hit your email. You 100% gonna respond if I hit your email about a booking request, or what's the best way to actually reach you if somebody's serious trying to book you for like?
There's a link. I haven't added it to my YouTube, but on my Instagram there is a link.
It's a link that take you straight to it.
Yeah, it's a link. Yeah, you can.
Okay, book the time. All right. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying you can book the time of the day. Go ahead though.
Book the time of the day. Okay, cool. So here's my thing. All right, with the whole choosing signals, I'm a choosing signal guy. Like I like, I believe in like making opportunities for choosing signals to happen. I'm not like a guy that's like, I could sit back, but here in America, if you sit back and wait on choosing signals, like it could be definitely hold on 1 second. I had something playing in the background. My fault. Damn, what was I saying? But you know how it is in America. You may get choosing signals, you may not get choosing signals. So I think it's best to try to like put yourself in position where choosing signals can happen. I know in those other countries you were saying like Kenya is pretty much on autopilot. I kind of wanted to just speak on that. I like the whole Kenya experience with the choosing signal because, in America, it's basically like, it's 50-50 if you're going to even get 1 or 2 choosing signals over the entire night. So like in Kenya, are you saying like you're going to go out, it's pretty much going to be on autopilot? How do you...
If you've worked on yourself, I'm going to ask you a question too, but if you've worked on yourself and you got to over here, you got to be on point in Kenya. Otherwise, you're not going to get no choosing signals. Everybody can't come to Kenya. But if you've worked on yourself and you look somewhat attractive in Kenya, somebody will show you that they're interested, unlike a lot of other places. But somebody said, "Oh, well, let me ask you this question. What do you mean by make an environment for choosing signals?" I think I know what you mean, but tell everybody what you meant when you said that.
Basically, if you're gonna go out, I mean, I always been a big proponent of dressing nice, presenting yourself. I mean, in America, it kind of forces you to be that guy because it's like if you're not, you definitely ain't gonna get no play. So it's kind of good in that way, but that's like a double-edged sword because a lot of guys I realize they don't want to put the effort in to actually be attractive enough to garner some type of choosing signals too. So it's kind of like that's the flip side to it too. But I mean, like, just presenting yourself in a way that's attractive to a female, however your swag is. Like I say, like you said, work on yourself. Make sure you can portray yourself right, because here in America, you say one wrong thing, or your fucking shoes not tied, disqualified off barrel. So
Oh, the shoelace is real.
it's tough for sure. It's super tough. I went to other countries and I'll just like I've been to DR, so I definitely, I can tell it's basically like on easy mode. You know what I mean? Because it's just so tough here to even get a look to even start some type of interaction. But when I mean like put yourself in position, these guys are just sitting at home playing video games, not working out, not dressing nice, and they're expecting bad Johns just to show up at the door, and it just don't work that way. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. So somebody says, and I hate it when people say this. This is a woman named, I don't even know how to say it. But it says Flower. Let's say Flower. Women and men are really the same everywhere. I have to 100% disagree with you, and I go to the extreme so people know that it's not the same. Do you think if you date a American woman for a year, right, and then you go to Saudi Arabia and you date someone over there, is that going to be the same?
no, it's not.
It's not going to be. And what people love to say is, "Oh, well, that's because the environment." I know that. That's the reality. The reality is the environment is going to make the experience different.
And you know what I was thinking about this also. I think it's that youthful exuberance that the overseas women have. You realize how jaded American women are, and we're so socially programmed to automatically be like no. So it's like refreshing when you can go interact with a girl you can tell hasn't had like a lot of that trauma that a lot of these American women just. I just hate. I don't dislike American women. I just don't like how you meet those girls and you can tell she's been messed over by like 6 or 7 guys. She's just incapable of basically reincarnating that same type of that affection and that appreciation that we just love to have as men, basically, for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. So somebody, she says y'all are so delusional in the chat. So I want to ask her, where are you from? Where were you born at, and where do you currently live at, ma'am? I would love to know where your beliefs come from. Because usually,
Americanized women. She sounds like your typical Americanized female. This is the responses you're gonna get. You get what I'm saying?
now here's something I want to touch on too. This dude right here says we got some disagreement coming in. Thank God. Damn, dudes need choosing signals. Now, what is your mouthpiece about? Motherfuckers is weird nowadays. Corny ninjas going overseas to pull chicks thinking they got game. Most passport bros are having flavor. Okay, I will agree with you. A lot of dudes traveling are lames, but a
Why
lot of
would
them
you
are.
approach a female that has given you no inclination that she would even be open to? That's just like unnecessary rejection. She could literally be married and not trying to get off any energy towards any man. You gonna cold approach her and try to force yourself into a situation that you might not necessarily be invited into. It don't make sense to me. I hate cold approach. You gotta at least give me something. I don't care if it's a glance. I don't care if it's a look. I don't care if it's you purposely put yourself in my eyesight. I'm gonna shoot, but you gotta let me know that the basket is open for me to take the shot. For sure, for sure. I'm past those days of hollering at girls that it's just so much easier to deal with girls that's already looking to date. It's just simple. I don't think that's I think that's a smart way to go about it for me personally. But
Yeah, exactly. I think you explained that perfectly. Yeah, and plus what he's saying, what is your mouthpiece about? That's that manipulation shit I be talking about. I'm not here to manipulate nobody. I like to deal with women that make it's a smooth sailing talking to them. I don't
yeah,
have to. Well, let me say this so I can convince her. I don't want to. I won't. Let me be a little more vulgar. I want to fuck with women that want to give me the pussy. I don't want to have to convince you like this is why you should. I'm gonna pretend like I'm Jay-Z's brother. I'm not doing all that shit.
You know what? One thing I hate that's not so as common as overseas as the American women. I hate how you gotta act like you don't like them in order for them to like you more. You know, I just that whole backwards putting them down, making them not feel like they're a priority. That's I understand that's the game that works, but I hate having to be in that mode because if you got genuine interest in somebody, it's just like you are playing a game just to get to the end result, which you would have liked to have been honest in a perfect world, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I've noticed that in a few African countries that American game of let me pretend like I'm not interested. Some countries out here that does work.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Ghana, I think that works.
So basically, it's like the same thing as dating in the United States when it's dating in Ghana.
That's why I said that when I got there. It was almost the same as like being in the States, like everything from the music, everything.
I did see that you said that the Ghana women definitely had the Kenyan women beat on the shapes, and I know a lot of guys where it's like thinking like which because it's tough. I mean, because if you want to go to Ghana, you want to go to Ghana, but like you said, Kenya is a great alternative or a great starting point. But I just can you reiterate a little bit, like basically clarify what you were saying because it made it seem like Kenya didn't have the naturally thick women that us black men look like, that us black men like. So would you say you're saying they're more in abundance in Ghana, or just Kenya just didn't have, they're more slim thick?
I will agree. I mean, I did not say that they had on average. So I guess you could say they were a little. I think West Africa is like that in general, though. They were a little like thicker in general. But there's way more women in Nairobi than Accra.
Okay.
So you see a lot more women. You have a lot more options here than you do in Accra. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was in Ghana, it wasn't too many women that were just like, whoa, like. And when I'm out here in Nairobi, it's you'll be breaking your neck the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
In Ghana does not have them beat when it comes to that. No.
As far as just the thickness, because us, we like those natural bodies with the shape, with the big john, with the no stomach. You know what I mean? So that's why.
Well, in Nairobi, they're more so slim thick. In Ghana, they had that. They had a sim. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I was about to say they were similar to Rwanda. Rwanda is its own thing. But they had what you in Ghana. They had similar to what you would see back home in the States.
Right.
But yeah, they don't have Kenya beat. I'm sorry.
They don't have Kenya beat. So basically, a below average guy, right? Let's say a guy don't really make that much cash, maybe not be the best looking guy. He still would have a great dating life in Kenya. Yeah, or do you still have to be like above average to have like the maximum output in Kenya? What's your
I know some average guys that are satisfied. That are really having a good time here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you have to be like a superstar because it seemed like in Ghana, like that's why I say it was like the States. You seen dudes with Rolls Royce. You really can't compete when the motherfucker come through with a Rolls Royce. You really can't compete.
Right. In Africa too. That's nuts.
Because what people do know in Africa is if they got a Rolls Royce, that's not on no credit, none of that.
Right. They bought that.
If they got it, they usually got it.
They scam that.
Yeah, I don't know how they got it, but whatever it is paid for.
For sure.
So let me read a couple of super chats. Mr. Bobby Wright says culture is what separates the mentality. Of course, the basics are going to be the same, but foreign women do tend to be nicer and know how to communicate. 100%. I've been saying this since day one. I say that people are not the same worldwide because of culture. That's why I said the culture in somewhere like Somalia or somewhere like Arabia or somewhere like Vietnam is going to make it the entire experience different. Now, freedom is what makes people the same. Mm-hmm. If you bring those people from Vietnam or Somalia or Saudi Arabia, you put them in the States, they won't be the same. Mm-hmm. Nobody will be the same. So why would you? You can do whatever you want.
You have no desire ever to like I mean, I know you probably visit back to states, but you have no desire to ever like permanently live back in the states for any amount of time in the future, or
Hell no. Hell no. Not
okay,
by a long shot. And it's not just because of the culture when it comes to it comes to what you can get, what your money can do outside of the states, how much more you can get out of life for a cheaper price. Besides culture and besides the people wise, you can get a lot more. Then you throw the culture and how the people treat you and how your social life is different. Why would you want to go back?
okay. I got a quick little question that might help some people. Say somebody had like a 10K, right? How long? Say they had like a 10K budget and they wanted to. How long, basically, in Kenya do you think 10K would last if you were like frugal with your money and wanted to just stay out there for an extended period of time with just 10,000?
If you were frugal, you could get a $300 apartment here. So that means what almost 40% of that will go to your rent, which is pretty cheap for $10,000. If you go grocery shopping, like I just went grocery shopping today and I got enough meat and food and all that for maybe the rest of the week. But that altogether was about $100. So if you spend maybe $300 at the supermarket, I'm pretty sure if you go on the street, it's a lot cheaper. But I'm not shopping on the street. I'm not doing that. If you spend $300 there, then we're gonna say that's about the same as the rent.
Right.
So you're talking close to $8,000, and you could probably last 8 months off of that out here.
Eight
That's if
months
you
with 10,000 in Kenya.
that's if you're frugal. Like that means you're
Oh.
not going out. That means you cooking all your meals.
Yeah, let's not say that. Let's say you more like you want to go out, you want to have like a nice social life. Whether you probably chop it down to like maybe 3 months with 10K, where you could just be super comfortable and be dating and kind of
Yeah,
like your lifestyle, basically. You get
three
to do it
months.
3 months with 10,000 sounds like a good budget, basically. Okay.
hmm If you out like I am, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ace Fast, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you everybody else has been sending super chats. He says, when you only rely on women, we're gonna say women, giving you the attention to approach, you open yourself up to many females with hidden intentions. You're seeing this in reality. Yes, I will agree with that. I will agree with that. But that's usually if women are approaching you. If we're talking in person. So, like for example, a con artist that I had on my channel, she approached me online. She messaged me first, and she turned out to have ill intent. But somebody following you online, just they click the follow button. That's online. That's considered a choosing signal because she's not getting at you, but she's making sure that she's showing up in your feed so she can see you. I mean, you can see her in person. A woman approaching you, yes, the chances of them having ill intent are extremely high. But a woman seeing you, I mean, goddamn, I mean, what is she supposed to do? If she sees a dude she likes, is she just supposed to sit there like a mannequin and not say and not have any emotion? I really don't want to fuck with her. I don't want to fuck with her at all. Now, if she sees me and she likes me, why wouldn't you want her to smile at you? Does that mean she has a hidden intent?
Right. But
Because I
here's
mean, if I see a woman I like, I'm gonna smile. Does that mean I have some sort of hidden intent? I just see something I like.
right, but these women over here are socially programmed to not show interest in guys because they don't want to look too thirsty. That's just the culture where they could genuinely, like you said, I think you was talking about some countries you was in, they could generally like you and just be trained not to give you any type of choosing signals. And then the guys get on here and they like to chase because most guys like to chase. We're in the minority of guys that's like, I don't have to chase, so why would I chase? So the guys that like to chase are shaming the guys that's like, I don't have to chase. You know what I'm saying? She gonna at least give me, I'll chase, but you gonna at least give me some, give me a sign that you really wanna fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's a double-edged sword, man. Like I said, you got guys that simps that they only get chose when they do code approach. A lot of these niggas on this channel never even got choosing signals to begin with, so they don't even know what it feels like to have burning desire from a female. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? For sure.
exactly. So Tyrone the Sun God says anywhere where women have excess attention, their behavior will be destructive. I agree, and that's the United States for you. They have a lot of attention that they get, and then you see how they do it, y'all. I appreciate that super chat. Theo Anderson says, did some cold approach here versus in Peru. No choosing signals, but one in Peru. got with two girls that were together. Here in the U.S., it seemed like it was very mild amusement on their part, not common. Yeah, I would agree. The chicks in the states, it's I don't go out in
You,
this. If I wouldn't go out choosing signals or code approaching in the states, I would just honestly, when I go back, I might bring somebody with me.
the girls I talk to in the States, they always say we always get approached. And I just don't hear that. I hear that from some guys saying, girls tell me they never get approached because but it just seems like the girls I interact with, they always be like, I be just tired of niggas trying to talk to me all the time. It's just, because I normally holler at like Johns that's like above baddies, basically, not just your average regular John. So when I hear guys say, yeah, girls tell me they hardly ever get talked to because men be too intimidated, I don't see that in my own reality, is what I'm saying. Apartment
I
run,
don't
oh
see that
snap.
either.
Oh snap,
I
what
don't
about?
see that either.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody know me from my channel. I'm gonna have you on my channel one day. I'm gonna book you in, man. I think we're gonna do a good mashup. Like I said, I got 13K subscribers on my channel. I went viral like almost like 8 months ago because I got stuck out in DR.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, you remember that? That's me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I was in the Philippines when I heard about that.
yeah. So like I said, we kind of both. Our name is kind of both, kind of big in these travel space, man. It's weird how I don't know if you had planned to be like as big as you are in the travel space, but with me, I kind of just fell into this travel space with what just happened with me in DR. So for sure, I still go back and watch your video about the American girls, man. That's a hit, y'all. That's a hit one. You got one. You got a classic record with that. That's gonna stand the test of time for years to come about you talking about how bad it's that bad.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it really is that bad. It really is that bad trying it over there. I appreciate the super chat. Also, we got another comment right here. It says, somebody Marty W says, Kesa actually said her occupation was a stay-at-home daughter. What a con artist. Yeah, I would have never said that. I would have never. Some people just shouldn't say certain things. Closed mouths don't get fed. We wouldn't be here if our parents didn't code approach. My parents were born in 1977. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Back then, there was no Tinder. So if she wanted to get chose, if she wanted to get code approach, she had to look like something. And if she was the girl that was, oh, get the fuck out of my face, back then, okay, I get out your face. There's other women that want to be approached. Nowadays, in the States, at least in the States, in some of the countries I've been to too, women don't want to be code approached anymore. That's now a charge.
You know what though? I want to shoot the commenters some bait a little bit, man, because code approach is very nuanced. Because here's the thing. It is times where you're gonna see exactly what and you're gonna have that one chance to actually shoot your shot. So if you happen to see like a Bernice Burgos out at the mall, she's not gonna give you no chuggas and signals. So you're gonna have to do a code approach. So I'm not completely anti-code approach. I just don't like how thirsty it comes across a lot of the times, because a lot of times when you do code approach, women have a time they know how to make it awkward to make it even worse than how that's what annoys me the worst. If you're gonna curve me, just hit me with the curve and don't make it all stupidly awkward to make it even more humiliating. And I just think American women, they have that down so good to where you get that rejection, and then you're like, I'm never doing this shit again, and then right back next weekend you're back doing the same shit. So it's kind of it's definitely it makes you feel terrible to get that rejection, even though you might be above average looking guy, or you got your money on point. You might be in a good position in your life. Go up to a chick that you think is in your level, and then what happens? You get the L to you, and then it's just like it hurts your confidence. So, but you gotta just that's why I don't like it, is because just the extra stuff that comes on top of getting the rejection, for sure.
Yeah. We're gonna add one more person, and I think he got some pushback. For
Yes, sir. I got some pushback, man.
I'm gonna step out for a second though. Y'all go ahead.
No, I'll let you come back. General, go ahead.
No, I was just talking about how like the girls, they make the L even worse because their reaction to how they curve you is just like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like they get that joke. I hate giving a woman the satisfaction of knowing that she just done it to me, and that's like the icing on top of the L. You got like an icing layer where it's like, yeah, and she gonna be going around telling everybody, yeah, he tried to shoot at me, and you get L on top of an L, because I'm the type of, I don't holler at a lot of chicks, but when I find a girl I actually like, that's when I do the code approach. I don't code approach every girl. I have to see her, like exactly how she look, and then I'll have the motivation and be like, I actually want to do a code approach on her. Most of these girls, from their look standpoint, they're gonna have to do choosing signals with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. For sure. I got a show at 5:00. I want to put down in the comments if you guys want to check your boy out, man. I got my own channel. I'm gonna put my link. Below. Go ahead, Buck Travels. I'm in the building though. I just want to talk to these guys. We got some people in here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hold on. We talking about choosing signals versus code approach. Are you a choosing signal guy? Or are you a code approach guy?
I mean, I would say for both. I would say. So if she's showing you choosing signals, then you approach her. That means, okay, she's into you. But you got to connect. You got to convert, because she can be showing you choosing signals, but then when you go over there and she finds out, okay, this nigga's lame, then now she maybe you might have say something wrong, but you got to have a mouthpiece that connects with it. So if you get choosing signals, you also got to have the mouth game. You got to convert.
You got to have charisma either way it goes.
Like approaching her and just being a body. Obviously you got to put the effort. And what goes into this is your physical presence. How like how in shape you are. So you gotta say something. You can't be going, okay.
We know that though.
You gotta look like you him. You gotta look like you got your whole life.
It's not like you got your money together. I mean, here's the thing.
It's a lot. You gotta have a lot if you want to get back.
Y'all focus too much on the looks aspect, but y'all don't know that females actually give men the benefit of the doubt. So if she thinks this dude is ugly, if she gets this dude is ugly, she might be saying, okay, maybe he can improve himself. Maybe he can make up in other areas.
No, this is not right. That's true for American women. That's not true.
I've seen ugly dudes with beautiful women, bro.
Yeah, but that's rare though.
It's not rare. I see all the time, bro. I see all the time, bro. I see all the time. You gotta have mouth game, bro.
That's rare.
Hold on, Buck Travels. Let's. Somebody just left a comment, and I agree with this. If she already likes you and she's attracted to you, you have room for mistakes. Now, of course, like I said, you have to have some sort of charisma either way it goes. You can't go over there cracking corny jokes and snorkeling your nose. But you can. I've had someone when I'm like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. But she was so interested. I can have a little leeway with that.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's the backside.
Understand is like they don't know how to read the body language.
Right, but Buck Travels.
One of the first signs that, okay, if a girl is really, really into, like when you first approach her, and if she really, really into you, she's showing you that body language as you talking to her. You spinning game and all that. She's showing you the body language, and sometimes the body language can be negative, or it can be a positive. Some guys don't understand this. So if if you don't understand this, or you don't understand this, then a lot of guys, what they do is like they push it. They don't even read the signs. So you definitely got to have a game, man. So you can't just going out there and just randomly approaching chicks and you know, like not expecting anything in return.
Man, here's the thing. Over in this United States, you gotta be him. You gotta be on top of your game. You gotta have your money together. You gotta have your looks on point. Gotta have your mouthpiece. Everything has to be top tier to get you a decent John like that, guys. Trust me, I'm in the field. I holler at chicks every weekend. I know how tough it is out here. Not talking to nobody that don't approach chicks. I approach chicks all the time. It's super tough in the United States to pull just a decent looking chick. If she's halfway decent, hundreds of guys are trying to shoot their shots at her every goddamn week. So you have to be on top of your game, man. The USA is probably one of the toughest markets to pull just an average chick, in my opinion. I ain't gonna lie to you for sure.
I mean,
honestly,
if you could pull a above average chick in the States, I mean,
you can pull a chick anywhere.
You can pull
above.
Anywhere in the world.
Mark my words. If you could pull above average chick in the United States, you could pull a girl anywhere in the world. Put it like that. I'll stand by that. I'll stand on that.
Yeah, so Auston, I'm actually agreeing and disagreeing some aspects you're saying. Yes, obviously the physical shape plays a part, because that's what actually got foot in the door. Like get your foot in the door with it. So the physical aspect plays a part, but then as she's showing you choose the signals and you approach her, now you got to connect and convert. You know, now you got to do the other 50% of the battle.
You know, it's so bad. And go ahead, Auston. I was going to say
that's not hard. That's not hard. The connecting part is not hard. But I want to touch on this. Paul says, Auston, you just have to have confidence. If a woman is not interested in you, it don't matter how much damn confidence you got. Because a lot of people think, oh, if I'm confident, I can still get the phone number. But like I said earlier, you can get the phone number. It might not be right, and you might not get a text back. If that's what you call confidence, that's fine. And like he said, Henry right here says charisma will not work if the girl's not attracted to you. You have to be in shape and look good. So yeah, you can be charismatic, but if humans are physical. Right. We see things first.
Right.
That's what choosing signals are. She's not looking at you and saying, "Oh, he looks like he's a good plumber." Like right. She don't see that shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the choosing signals go off how you developed yourself.
Right.
And that makes everything easier in the long run anyway. And the charisma is the icing on the cake. But it's necessary though.
Man, listen, it's so tough when you go to these other countries. It's like layups. It's like practice, guys, because it's so tough here to y'all don't even realize how tough it be. Like your shoes could be untied. It's just crazy, bro. How just to pull above out, how in the sky their noses are just, and then it's so bad you holler at chicks that you lowering your standards to talk to, and she even playing games. You know what I mean? That's what even makes it worse.
That's ego. Yeah, they got a lot of ego.
They got a lot of ego.
Man, you gotta
way better.
You gotta understand when you get choosing signals overseas, it actually depends. So if you go to somewhere walking street Taya, even the fucking elephant man can get choosing signals out there.
I'm not talking about no pay for play.
Let's not do that.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about
regular girls.
Situation.
Talk about a regular city.
Yeah,
use a regular city.
Yeah, I'm talking about regular girls, bro. I'm telling y'all, it's shooting 3-pointers versus layups as far as pulling chicks overseas. Pulling chicks overseas is like putting 2K on easy mode. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just like,
I didn't realize that till I started going overseas. I'm like, damn, I'm not even trying. It's just like, I think what it is too is we forget we're the foreigners when we go over there. So how we look at foreign women is something different. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look at us. So we kind of stand out on top of everything else that y'all are saying. Whereas American women are so ego driven, everything like that. They think that you gotta move the whole world like Superman or something like that just to get a phone number. It's not really worth it. You know what I mean?
These girls are talking about they want a man that make $100,000 a year minimum. Minimum, they said. Do you realize only 10% of the United States population only make $100,000 a year? That's crazy, bro. They don't even. It's so inflated, bro. In this market, I see why guys are getting their passport. Like Auston say, it's that bad because it literally is. Like, girl will be working at McDonald's, want a guy that's a lawyer with his own firm at 32 years old. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, let me see. Let me read a couple more super chats. Why did you call the chick a con artist? Because a con artist is somebody that lies and they have a hidden intent, and that's what I experienced. Appreciate that super chat. I wonder if Austin ever approached women in Houston. Houston got some fine ass women. I By the time I found out about Houston, I was already sold on Brazil, so I really didn't care about any city in the states. And it's gonna be that way permanently now. There's a play. Okay, let's see what y'all got to say about this. There's a player way to cold approach, and there's a simp way. Most men don't know how to approach. I can tell you. I'm not doing no simp coded approaching. Number one, and I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter how player you go about it. If she's not interested, she's not interested. And this is not in 2023. This is not the day and age, especially when you have access to women worldwide. This is not the day and age to be pretty Ricky and be singing songs and dropping flowers off at doorsteps and shit.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. I'm gonna holler at you one time. Once you tell me no that one time, I'm off you. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to. When you do that, they come back. That's a quote that I love. It's called "You never chase, attract." And I try to just model my whole game around that one quote. Never chase, attract. Attract them to you, and then the work is easy after that. If she fucking with you, she fucking with you. But I understand I have to take myself outside of my own shoes and realize that I'm not your average guy. The average guy that don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough for me, so I know it's tough for y'all. You know what I mean? So I can relate so much to this topic because I'm like, damn, I'm in Gary, these girls out here, they're super aggressive. They're used to dating it certain type of guys. You know, you gotta be. They only responding to one prototype of guy. You know what I mean? So it's definitely. I understand. I can empathize with a lot of guys that saying it's definitely tough to pull these chicks out here for sure.
So we have another super chat right here. Ace Fast says, "What exactly is cold approaching?" Cold approaching. So it's just like when a call center, they call it a cold call, meaning that they don't know who you are, you don't know who they are, but you want something from them, so you approach them. She hasn't. I go into a grocery store. He doesn't know I'm there, but I see her, and so I just pop up on her. That's a cold approach.
Mm-hmm.
And
You have no inclination that she's even interested in you, basically.
Yeah, you don't know. There's no data. You just see her. That's it.
Yeah.
Apartment rental says, "Really, that dude? Thank you for the super chat."
Shout out apartment rental. They going crazy for your boy. Yeah. Shout out apartment rental, man. We on the Auston Holleman show. We lit today. Show.
Hello. Yeah. So can I interject? So what I was going to say is that, like, different women express their, like, attraction differently. So some women might be bold and like to send choosing signals. Others might be shy and just try to, like, hide it up. But saying all of that, America is not like a natural environment to really test that out at, because what's happening in America is that there's more young men than young women. That's why women in America have so many, like, excessive attention, because a lot of men immigrate here, so there's like an excess of men. So, like, a lot of women here have a lot of options. That's why it's so hard for men to date here. A lot of dudes don't know that we have a demographic issue in America. So we have a lot of immigrants coming here, male immigrants, and, like, more young men being born than young women. So, like, for every young woman, there's 105 men to 100 women. So, like, it's a demographic issue, bro. So, like, a lot of women have a lot of options here, so they can afford to be picky. They have bad behavior. But when you go overseas, where they have, like, a much more balanced ratio, you start to see that women act differently, because they don't really have the choice and options like they do over here. So that's one reason why, like, a lot of women, they have, like, bad behaviors here. I'm just trying to tell you guys that there's a demographic issue here. A lot of people don't know that, though. There's a lot more young men than young women here. That's just reality, man.
I don't know. I don't want to speak on that because I don't know what the men to women ratio is overall. I just know in some states it is like 7 women to 1 man. In some states it's 6 men to every 1 woman. So I can't speak for that in totality of the United States, but I will say this about cold approaching. I do believe cold approaching is necessary in order to get your game good enough to have an understanding of how to be attractive to women. And so that's one upside of cold approach that I do agree with. You can't go your whole life relying on women to just shoot you cold approach signals, because if you do that, you'll never get laid. You see what I'm saying? So it
Yeah,
is.
Facts.
It
Facts.
is. It's like a necessary evil. Like it teaches you.
Facts.
You need that rejection. You need that. You know, maybe you said the wrong thing. Maybe you didn't come across as confident as you wanted to in that interaction. So it's a lot of things you can look back on from an unsuccessful code approach that I think can be
Facts.
great learning lessons for sure.
You're really 100% correct on that one, man.
For sure. For sure.
You know, I definitely agree with that, man. You can't just rely on constant choosing signals all the time, man. You gotta cold approach here, you know, here and there. You know, like for me, if I see a very bad chick, I'm cold approaching. You know, and if I get rejected or not, I don't care. You know, but then you know, it's just you never know. You know, there's always that that chick who's gonna give you that one chance to, you know, like she's gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You know, so you can never be like, oh man, she's not showing me choosing signals. Therefore I'm not gonna approach her. It doesn't work that way, you know. So you gotta cold approach here and there, you know.
Here and there, yeah, but I still prefer choosing signals. But like you said, if it's somebody that I'm like, damn, I just gotta try, even if I get shot down, then yeah. Marriage and Politics and Sports says I would challenge those numbers. There are 2 million more black women than black men. Appreciate the super chat. Somebody fact check that, I guess. Henry Lucy says people fail to understand that dating is a sales funnel and thus cold approach yields a much lower conversion rate, even if you get the number. And that's what I was saying. You can get the number when you cold approach. That don't mean the deal is gonna be sealed.
For sure.
It's that's why I said it's a waste of time. When you compare it to choosing signals, it's a waste of time.
I mean, you can't really say it's a waste of time, Austin. Like like I said, it's like push-ups. Like you don't like to do them, but you know it's gonna make your body better. You know what I mean? Like you need to have a code approach in your arsenal because waiting on choosing signals is just not. It doesn't yield enough you know, successful hookups from just waiting. Because a lot of guys, you gotta, like Austin, you know, you probably above average guy. So just think of everybody else that's not even on your level, right? So they're like, you think you're in bad shape, they're in totally bad shape because they're like, they never get choosing signals. Like women are very good at not giving guys choosing signals that they're not interested in for sure. So like I'm saying, it's definitely
here's the thing, guys.
Go ahead.
There's a guy right now dumber than you who makes 10 times the income as you. There's also that ugly ass dude with that badass chick. So don't let confidence ruin, you know, your chance, you know, to actually a cold approach chick.
But it's not all of just, I hate when people just say confidence, because it's not all about confidence. A lot of it's timing. A lot of it's just you right place, right. A lot of it's timing, really. Right place, right time. You caught her maybe on the tail end of a bad breakup and she just want to, you know, have somebody occupy her time and attention for a little bit. Like confidence isn't an all catch all be all. And that's what these dating coaches tell you is all you need is confidence. And it's like, no, you need a lot more than just confidence. You need to look like you got your shit together for one. That's number one above confidence out the gate. It don't matter how confident you are if you look like you just rolled out of bed and ain't got shit going on. You got to look like something in the United States in order to garner that type of attraction from a female, period. You see what I'm saying? So
let me say this too, because I want to touch on a couple of things people said. Okay, so this is actually something that I do. And Marty W says, stare at her until she gives you choosing signals. So if I see a chick that I'm attracted to, and let's say we're in a setting where we're sitting down, that doesn't mean stare at her like a maniac, right? But that means you pay attention to see if I'm gonna approach her and I got my mind made up, I'm gonna do it whether she looks regardless. But I will look for a while and look here and there to see, is she looking my way? You know, is she already showing the interest so I can know where she's at? And if I feel like, okay, I'm a cold approach. If she's bad, if she's just like, I got to, then yeah, it doesn't matter if she's looking. But I will agree with that too. I do that a lot. Choosing signals is based on luck. I will agree. I've been to some places where I get hella choosing signals one day. The next time I go there, I may get one as opposed to last time I got 10. So it can be luck. That's why you can't only rely on it, but it's still better, I say. You said you weren't going to cold approach women anymore. What made you change when you came back to Kenya? The reason I changed, number one, is because of the con artists. But number two is I felt like I was leaving a lot on the table by not doing it. And from cold approaching, I can still see I really wasn't leaving shit on the table. Like the ones I cold approach, again, they're not going nowhere. The ones that show interest, that let me say, the ones that have a mutual interest from the jump goes exactly where it should go.
Okay. So it's more honest dealing with the Kenyan women, basically. More transparent.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, they're very transparent.
Because you know, hey, these American women, you can act like you found the love of your life the very next day. She acting like she can't even answer the phone. It's just, you know, it's definitely a total difference. When you, like I said, that youthful exuberance, that positive outlook, that genuine desire, where it's like you can tell she's not playing games. She actually wants to see where this goes. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like that about them for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Got blocked out. Please drop the link. I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link. I actually pinned it to the top of the chat too. Thank you for the super chat. Classic interview featuring J Real. Appreciate the super chat again.
Shout out Apartment Rental. He's sending it through. He's sending it through tonight. Slide
So
on
what-
my live, man. For real, Apartment Rental. I appreciate that, bro. For real.
Anonymous asks, "Can you getting dry?" Not at all. Actually, I went out to a club yesterday, and I've been to that club many times, and I have never seen that many beautiful women at that club as I did yesterday. So it's gotten better than it was, I think, since I first got here. So what do you think about this? Somebody says your competitors aren't cold approaching at all, and they stay getting the majority of the women's interest, and I would agree with that.
Your competitors. What do you mean, your competitors?
I guess he's saying the other dudes that the women might, you know, that are probably going for the same women.
You know what? You know what I think about that? I think on the surface, we think those guys aren't putting in work because it just seems like it comes more natural to them to just pick up girls without actually putting any effort in. But I think they do a lot of work on the back end to actually close the deal. And I understand that mind frame because I used to be thinking in my head, like, why am I trying so hard? And it's like these other guys just seem like they just falling into some baddies, you know? And I sat back and thought about it, and I'm like, you're not really doing anything wrong. You're just not seeing the whole totality of the situation. That's all.
Yeah, none of what you hear and half of what you see. Brian B says, I can co-sign the staring and smiling. You don't need to wait for a choosing signal. So a method that I would always do, if I see somebody that I find attractive and I want to see if they're interested first, like I would look at them and I try to make eye contact. When I do make eye contact, I would smile and wave. That always works. So that's how you start your own choosing signal. And then you'll know if you wave at a chick and she doesn't wave back. I know some of y'all will still approach and say, I'm confident. I'm going to approach it. I'm going to use my mouthpiece. Fuck that mouthpiece. If she's not even polite enough to wave back and show interest, why the hell would you approach her?
Now, Auston Holleman, I want to give a little bit of pushback on that because these American women, they would go the whole 4-hour club entirety without making eye contact with you one time. So it's not a catch-all be-all with that method. That is a good method. I won't take nothing away from that. But I'm saying these, like I say, it's tough. It's levels to this because I've done that same method, expecting her to make the eye contact so I could even get the signal, and I just was like, damn, she really was not. I would actually have to cold approach this girl in order to get her on the team, for sure.
I will agree in the States, that's 100% true.
Right.
They're fucked up. They got some mental issue or something going on over there. But overseas, that still works.
It still works, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I've had some chicks in the States, like, they would be I would try my best to, I would wave at them and I would talk to them. I'd even go approach them and they would reject me. And then so I'd be like, okay, well, she rejected me. So I'm going to go talk to somebody else. I start talking to other people. I would start talking to other women. And then they'd be like, why did you stop talking to me? You said you didn't want to fuck with me. What was I supposed to do?
Try harder.
Yeah, and they got the wrong guy for that. But you're right, though. They want you to try harder. I'm not trying harder.
They play so much hard to get. Yeah. Yeah, that hard to get game is crazy over here. A girl would genuinely like you and just test you and just be like, I want to see how desperate this guy can come across to mess with me. And it's just like, why do you got to act like that? You know what I'm saying?
Just be normal. I used to say that about that. I was like, why can't y'all just be normal? If I approach you, why do I have to do a backflip after I've already done the hard part, which was approach you?
Yeah. It's crazy. That's why I say, if you can pull a chick here, everywhere else you're gonna go on this planet is gonna be easier for you to. This is like the goddamn Navy SEALs Marine training, pulling chicks over here. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you, for real, because you like they're very good at finding one thing to disqualify, one thing, literally one the wrong word you use, then they're good at like they'll do something like start a fight with you, like just throw something at you to make it seem like y'all would be at odds. I hate when they do that too. I swear I hate when they do that. That's another thing they're good at. Throwing something out there where y'all can argue about it, being so they should justify not messing with you. It's just so many games, but you can't fall into that trap. That's another trap that they put a lot of guys in. They fall, they throw that bait out there, knowing they're gonna say something. Then the guys fall right in there, and then next thing you know, they don't want to mess with you because you arguing with a female. You know what I'm saying? For sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. So I've been listening back to like what y'all been talking about and stuff, and I think it's a combination of both. You know, I think it's you should cold approach, but you also should go for choosing signals if you see them. But even if a chick isn't showing me choosing signals, I'm gonna still approach because I might not have saw the choosing signal or she's just not good at conveying that. So I'm gonna still approach anyway.
Which is true. Sometimes some chicks are weak at sending choosing signals.
Yeah, because like in Asia, when I was out there, I didn't see the chick's choosing signal. What she did was she was real slick. She sent the bottle girl over to me and then was like, "Hey, that like go talk to this chick. My friend likes you," type thing. I couldn't even see this chick. She was behind me or whatever. So I think it depends on where you at. In Asia, they real like kind of discreet, real chill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
A weak choosing signal is like a lot of girls they won't do the direct eye contact. They'll do what I call fast eyes, where they'll look at you and the eye will be on you for like a third of a second, and they'll do it several times. Usually, when they do that, you don't get their number.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not interested enough to even. Yeah, it's bullshit.
I mean, that's okay. Let me push back on that a little bit too, Austin, because it is times where girls they do the look away. Once they see you looking, they're gonna turn. But I'm just thinking in my head like that's her programming to not show her actual natural attraction to you because they're trained to not show that they're attracted to you because they don't want to come off as thirsty. As I said earlier, that's a lot of what plagues a lot of the girls' mind is they don't want to come off as too thirsty. For sure.
But that's another issue, right? Because if and I hate women that do that. That's like, oh, I don't want to show too much interest. Because when you get their number, that game doesn't stop. Now they're not going to be available. They're sitting at home eating popcorn. Hey, let's go over here and go to the arcade today. I'm just throwing out an example. Let's go to the arcade. She has free time, but she doesn't want to seem thirsty, so you won't see her for another 6 weeks.
Yeah. You're right.
And that's why when they do the fast eyes, I'm like, yeah, she's not interested enough. I know how that's gonna go. And then I'll be like, you know what? Let me try it. Same thing. I'm right every time. Every time with the fast eyes, it's always a waste of time approaching them.
And that's why I'm a big proponent of get the sex out the way as fast as possible because it's so tough to keep a girl's attention over a sustained period of time while she's playing all of these little kid games where it's just like it might be 4 months later. You might not even got to smell the box yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely all of that 90-day rule Steve Harvey shit. That shit was 1956. These girls today, God damn it, they talk about link first night. You know what I mean? Because you don't even know if you're gonna see this girl again. They really will block you for not like making them come something crazy. You know what I mean? Like they're super. These girls are super city girled out. I ain't gonna lie to you for sure.
Yeah. So Blackbird says you can create a choosing signal by wearing a fragrance. You absolutely can. That always works.
I love that.
Yeah, it always works. We have a super chat from Apartment Rental again. He says, "Gotta go, but definitely will catch replay. Keep dropping them gems, Rillo. Absolutely, yeah, he is doing a good job on the show today.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate your Apartment Rental for dropping that. He even dropped like 25, 30 tonight. Shout out Apartment Rental, man. I got supporters that rock with me too. That like I said, I'm big enough in my own right. So that's why I think once we actually put the collaboration together, I think that's gonna be a good one for my channel because I got a lot of people that rock with me too for sure. That's in the same space. We love this traveling. This traveling space is small, but it's big. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah. Anonymous 65 says we need an Asia versus South America versus dating experience video. Absolutely. And that I can actually do that one now. That's actually another video. I might upload a video like that tomorrow. So
So
somebody says y'all's game is weak. Just go work in sales. In sales. So here's the problem with that. In sales, what are you doing when you cold approach? You're trying to convince them.
Exactly.
This is why you need to buy it. I'm not walking up to a damn woman on this plan and say, "This is why you need to fuck with me."
Right.
What?
no, I think you're looking at it a little not in the right light, right? Because like in the comment, one of the reasons I hopped on is because you said having a mouthpiece is like manipulation, so to speak. I wouldn't quite equate it to that. What made you say that?
Because usually when dudes are saying that, they're talking about a way of how can I convince her or make her change her mind. I'm not really in the business of changing people's minds. I'm in the business of, okay, she's interested. I can hold on to the interest by being charismatic, funny, charming, not, yeah, well, baby, I got this car at the house. You know, you need to suck my dick because you might get $100.
That's just capping though. I mean, that's not having a mouthpiece though. A mouthpiece is just being able to use your verbal seduction, your verbal game to give yourself a result that's beneficial to you. It doesn't. You don't have to lie.
Seduction is part of charm though.
Yeah. So you can have a charming mouthpiece or whatever. I think when you try to say having a mouthpiece is manipulation, I think that's a little bit of a false narrative.
Because, like, for example, my thing is I just don't like playing a game.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay, I like a chick to be the same way how I'm very, okay, this is what I want. We can get to know each other. We can talk, go on a date. I don't want to have to be like, okay, let me try to, I know she wants this, but let me work around it by saying this and make her think this.
Yeah.
I don't like.
All right. Let me ask you an example then. Okay.
Basically, he's saying if he thinks she's bad, he don't want to have to tell her she's ugly in order to get a different result. You get what I'm saying? Basically,
no.
That's
I get
it.
I had a specific question for him, so I've ran into this, right? So I've had girls think because I'm handsome that I'm a player and I have a lot of chicks, right?
I've heard that.
Me with my mouthpiece, yeah, and I'm sure you might get that too, right? So me with my mouthpiece, I'm gonna put her at ease. I'm gonna let her know, whether I got them or I don't got them, that's not important. What's important is the vibe me and her got, this, that, and the other. They don't need to worry about what I got going on with other chicks. You get what I'm saying? So am I lying to her about anything? No. I'm just putting her at ease about her insecurities, about me being a handsome guy and her perceived notion of what I got or what I don't got. That's having mouthpiece.
So somebody left a comment just now. I just saw. Hold on. Well, I can't. Oh, Henry says it would be wise to wife a woman who you would have to convince, as there would be a lack of genuine desire. I'm assuming he's being sarcastic, right? Do y'all know who Grant Cardone is?
Yeah.
So you know how he met his wife, right?
No.
Yeah, he's a simp.
He spent years convincing her. He even made a statement where he said, "I took her on a private jet." She said she doesn't like short guys, and he asked her, Am I short at 30,000 feet now? That's him trying to convince her. You know what happens when Grant Cardone falls off? That bitch is gone.
All right. But he's never gonna fall off because he's probably worth $500 million though.
Yeah, he's not gonna fall off. He's not.
That's one of those cases. Like I said, that was back in the day, and like I said, she probably looks at him as the lottery. You know what I'm saying? She's not going nowhere because of his status or who he is. But if he was Grant Cardone, the manager of Subway, he might not have the woman he have right now. Basically, is what that says. Oh God. So
Todd.
What's up, G? What's up, Big A?
What's going on?
Hey man, you don't really need a lot of game with these chicks, bro. Like this, to me, this is the easiest. You can grab a chick nowadays, bro. Like if that's what you're looking for, that's what you want. It's the easiest right now to get it. I mean, because Look at these
We
dudes
talking
doing
about bad
street.
chicks, Todd. We not talking about no little scragglers. We talking about actually attractively, universally bad, Christina Milian, Bernice Burgos, chicks out of Starlets type shit. You know, my mom, not no real. We ain't talking about sexy reds.
Yeah, hell no. They're far from attractive. Like, hell no.
We
Now, what
talking
I'm saying is like the culture nowadays, man, is ridiculous. Like, I can meet a chick, bro. I can hang out with her. I'm thinking we finna, you know, hang out, and there's gonna be some shit. She immediately trying to sleep around. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, why is you like this? Like, why you want to sleep around? Why you want to do this? Like, look, I was dating a girl in London. The things she was doing was similar to the things that females do in the United States.
right.
But she was easily influenced by the women in the United States. And you would say she's like a bit of a feminist. And it tripped me out, bro. Like I was flying over there. I damn near went to school over there. I was practically living over there. And she just couldn't get right. She couldn't get right at all. Like she couldn't get right for herself. And a lot of times with these females, man, they don't be living right within themselves. Hold on, it's a dirt bike going by. A lot of times they don't live right with themselves. And the thing is, like, you can't help them, bro. Like, I used to think for years, like, I need this type of woman, this type of woman. Like, my parents been together like 64 years, bro. Like, we've been living in Compton since 1969, bro. Like, so I'm already knowing, you know, the ideal like household and all that other shit. The thing is like these bras out here moving the way they moving and don't even know where the fuck they gonna be in the next 10 years. Ask a female, where are you gonna be in the next 10 years? And see what she tell you. She ain't gonna be able to tell you shit. Cause she don't even know. So it's like what do you want, bro? Like at the end of the day, I'm 40 years old. My dad be 87 this December. My mom just turned 80. As far as I know, I got a whole fucking house they leaving me. I got insurance money. I got retirement money. All this shit they leaving me. Like, what is your goal, bro? Like, we not finna live forever. What is your goal? It ain't about screwing all the bras. Okay, she fine. This, that, whatever. What is the goal at the end of the day?
The goal is to have the sexual abundance that guys want, and at the end of the road, have a beautiful wife and I want a wife and family at the end of the. After I get through, you know, having my fun, I do want to settle down and have just that classic, beautiful wife and children at the end of the day. And I don't know if every man aspires to have that, but me personally, I just always saw that for my life. But I know I just ain't got it out of my system with messing with these chicks yet. I know I need at least like another 5 years and it'll be over with for me. I'm gonna be 40 in 5 years. So I mean, like I said, that's my ultimate end goal is children and a family and something to call home with a legacy. But as of right now, I'm out here in these streets tough. You hear me? For sure, for sure.
And I respect that. You know, whatever, you know, you choose to do, like I was already out in the streets when I was a teenager, man. I understand like every chick that I met, bro, was like aggressive, sexual. So I took advantage of it. You know what I mean? And it was like the older I got, the more I started seeing the same behavior. Like I'm 40 years old, bro. Like I'm still meeting women that's like 30 some years old, sexually aggressive. I don't like sexually aggressive women, bro. Like at the end of the day, my mom is my rock. My father is my rock. And if I can settle down with somebody, I would do that. You know, just at my age. I'm not speaking for you or anything like that. I'm just saying overall, I think it's beneficial to have a household because, you know, I made $90,000 a year. You know, I work a good job because my dad worked for McDonnell Douglas. He built the very airplanes that I was flying on to go to London and Europe and shit. My mom drove buses in Orange County, man, and I seen that two people working together. Hold on. Man, you swear we in Philly or something. But I wouldn't be the man I am today if my parents didn't make the sacrifice. So when do we get to a point where we make a sacrifice, we settle down, and we raise some children that can be a product of what I became?
Okay. Somebody
Okay.
said he make 45,000 a year.
Henry came back with another £5 super chat. He says it would advise it would not be wise to wife a woman. Hold on one second. It would not be wise to wife a woman who you have to convince, as there will be a lack of genuine desire, like Grant Cardone's wife. Yes. Are we gonna bring one more person on?
Yeah, man, you guys can drop me down.
Drop me down for a second. Sir Kalo.
Kalo, you live.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Right. So I thought let me jump on here because I hear a lot of Americans in in the chat. I just thought it'd be good to get a different perspective from London. Because I feel like, well, in London, I've been there for about 15 years now. I'm 32. 6'2", good job, own apartment, everything. And what I'd probably say is like the American culture is rubbing off in the UK as well. So so everything that is everyone's experiencing in the UK in America is literally the exact same thing that's happening here in the UK. And I'll probably say for a lot of the young guys, they're gonna find it really hard because we're in 2023. If anyone's listening is, let's say, 20 and they're thinking about settling down in the
Kalo, let me say one thing before I gotta. Hey, Auston, I gotta make a few runs. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. I'm gonna hit you on the back chat so we can hook up a fire collab for the YouTube space, bro. Thank you so much for having me on, bro. For real. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Auston, I'm gonna hit you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so basically what I was saying is a lot of guys are gonna have a really tough time if they're not learning how to cold approach, right? Just because I feel like when you're cold approaching, you're literally just building that self-confidence. You're learning a lot about yourself, a lot about what you can handle, what you can't handle, about the types, how women react to certain situations. So I think cold approaching is really critical when you're starting out, right? The older you get, the less tolerance you have for a lot of things, right? So you might not want to cold approach as much. Like I said, for me personally, like I'm over 6 foot. Like I've got a good job, own apartment. So I feel like even with all those things, it's still a tough market in the UK, right? Like a lot of the culture is exactly like what it is in America. But I do think as well, you can if you're just relying on choosing signals, you're missing out on a lot of the other potential side of it. You're leaving a lot on the table basically. Like for example, I met up with this girl that I used to see from like basically that used to be in my class from back in the day, and years later now she's telling me that she used to be interested in me, but at the time I weren't picking up on the choosing signals. I weren't like, because there was a lot going on. I'm looking left, I'm looking right, a lot of nice girls, whatever. So I could have just missed the choosing signal. But I feel like if you're genuinely interested in someone and the girl's a 10 out of 10, like you definitely got a cold approach. Like whether there's a signal or not, personally, 9 times out of 10, I'll get the number anyway. But I think for a lot of the young girls, young guys out there, I definitely think like cold approaching is something that's slept on. When I was 16, I used to go to this mall and with my friends, I used to get girls in school, but after school, I used to go to the mall to chat to girls, like learn how to pick up girls, whatever it is. Some worked, some didn't work. I was 16, I was nervous. I was just getting used to speaking to girls at that time, whatever it is. But I think it's so essential for young men to obviously learn how to cold approach, figure out what works for them. And it doesn't have to be about pickup lines. It could just be your charisma, like your presence, your aura, all that kind of stuff. things are gonna work, some things aren't gonna work, but it's so critical and important for guys not to just basically just ignore like yeah cold calling and just rely on choosing signals, because for a lot of the guys out there, they're average guys, right? They might be under 6 foot. Um, they might need braces. That you just there's a lot out there that basically a lot of the guys are average, right? So if women want the 1% men, right, and you as a guy, you're not even out there cold calling or whatever it is, you're not putting yourself in the mix, like to get these connections or get involved basically. So yeah, that's all I want to say. But then I do think as well, like a lot of guys are missing out. Basically, that's really it. To be honest, I just wanted to give a London perspective because I feel like no one from the UK has come on there. So yeah.
Let me say this too. I know Todd has it looks like he may have had a disagreement with you. This anonymous asks, have you dated in any other European countries?
Yes. So for me, actually, I've been to just recently. I came back from Ibiza. I've been to Spain several times. I've been to Greece. I've actually been to Morocco as well. I've been to Kenya. I've been to Uganda. I'm actually Ugandan myself. I've also been to Nigeria. I haven't been to Ghana yet. But yeah, in terms of like the attention that I get when I've been to Kenya, when I've gone back home to Uganda, 1000%, like it's like night and day, obviously, because the thing is, back home in Africa, a lot of women, like I feel like they're more direct, right? Here you got to put in more work. When I'm in the UK, I've got to put in more work. But to be honest, that doesn't stop me from approaching girls, or like it doesn't stop me from getting the work in. I do. I feel like for me, I get a lot of girls in the UK, but when I'm back home, it's like crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, it's like night and day. I've experienced like girls in Europe and back home. So I totally get some of these conversations when um a lot of men are being told, obviously, go back home and stuff like that. But if you don't have the means to go back home and your situation isn't patterned at the moment, don't just wait until you're back in Africa to start chatting to girls or whatever it is. Like, start getting the work in from now, getting that experience in now, because, like, especially if you're not going to settle back home, I want to settle back home. But if there's someone on here that doesn't want to settle back home, and let's say you're only gonna go to Africa like once a year or whatever it is, like once a year or twice a year, you can't afford it. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be getting the work in wherever you are. You can get the work in. And obviously there's things out there to make sure that you're putting yourself in the mix, like hit the gym, work on how you speak to people, how you interact, like yeah, just general things that's out there already.
Okay, so Falcon Blizz says if you want younger women 18 to 22, you have to code approach. I 100% disagree with that. In my opinion, that's false, very false. I think the older you get, you have to code approach more because those women were used to dudes code approaching them their entire life. Young women are too insecure to walk up to the brother. Again, choosing signals is not a woman walking up to you. That's just her straight up approaching you. At least for me, women around my age range and younger, if they're interested, they in Kenya and in Brazil, and in Colombia, they sent choosing signals. So I don't know how you came up with that, but that's not true if you ask me. I know that Todd had a disagreement with something you said earlier about the women in the UK. Go ahead and let him respond.
Yeah, yeah. I want to hear it.
I don't have a disagreement. Like, to me, like, I lived in the UK. I have an Oyster card. I traveled over there. I lived in Crystal Palace, Hackney. You know, I stayed in Chelsea. You know, they're big Arsenal fans over there, Chelsea fans. You know, I was staying in Germany. The women are really not that bad in the UK. It just depends on the area you are in. because for the simple fact that if you're in a certain area, you're gonna have like chicks that are influenced by American women. But at the same time, you have very traditional women over there. And I didn't have an issue at all with meeting women over there. And you know, I never cheated on the girl that I was with when I was over there. She's from Hackney. Um, they used to call her the Hackney hoe. You know what I mean? But at the end of the fucking day, when I took transportation, like, cause you don't need a vehicle over there. You don't need to drive like here in California. Like you got to drive everywhere. But there, man, you get on a train and meet a chick all day. Man, you can go to a hotel like when I was staying in Lancaster Gate, you know, Kingston or whatever. It's a big ass park, big park. I was out there throughout the whole pandemic. Man, I've never had an issue with talking to a female over there. And yes, you're gonna come across women that have American idealistic idea, you know, whatever. But a lot of times you're gonna meet a lot of chicks that are from different countries that've been living there for a while. Their ideals are not the same as American women. American women, to me, feel entitled. Like, oh, well, we fought to work, we fought to do this, we want equality. But when it comes time to work, they don't want to go to work. Half these chicks out here don't even have a resume, don't have no career, and I get shitted on because I listen to the older people when I was under 18, like, hey man, go to this school, do this, do that, do that. And I did it and it worked out for me. So now I'm making 90,000 a year. And the first thing a chick tell me, well, you got a career and I don't. Well, hey, that's your bad if you wanted to lay up and sleep with 1,000 people, you know, between the ages of 17 all the way up until you were 30. And here I am 40 and I'm still outdoing you. So I just think as far as the cold approach, I just think it depends on what area you in and what female you're trying to talk to. Because if it, you know, Hackney, you know, it's a little, I wouldn't say it's ghetto, but it's a little ghetto. You meet a chick out there, you got to expect to meet a chick from the hood in the United States. So I wouldn't cold approach no chick in Hackney. You know, if you in Chelsea, you're gonna see people riding around in Ferraris, Bentleys, Range Rovers, shit like that, and you might have a shot. So it just depends, you know, the area you in, you know, understanding, um, you know, what you're dealing with. And him being from London, I don't have no disagreement with him because obviously I'm wearing my London shirt and wearing my London hat. I got my Oyster card. I traveled, you know, I got accepted to school over there in Oxbridge, London, Brunel College, and the pandemic happened. But every time I was over there, man, I've never had a problem with like the cold approach or anything. I never had a problem with asking a girl what she was mixed with, and you know, the conversation was lovely. Versus over here, man, you can't even tell a girl, "Hey, I like your hair." Oh, misogynistic. Oh, you're harassing me. I didn't get none of that in the UK, but you definitely would get that over here in the United States.
Yes, agreed. Zay, I know you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead and tap in for me. Your mic is muted.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my fault, man. This damn internet going in and out, and I'm back in America because I just came back from the motherland, just like you. When I'm back over here, man, and this damn internet's still acting crazy. But I hear everybody what they saying about the choosing signals and the code approaching. My stance on it is there's nothing wrong with choosing signals. There's nothing wrong with code approaching. Now, what I would say is you should never just rely on choosing signals or just code approaching. You got to have a mixture of both. You feel what I'm saying? Because when it comes to choosing signals, what I've noticed, because like I said, one of the dudes, he even recognized me on here. He said, yo, this is Zay from, he live in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Yeah, I do. So when I was cold approaching the Ethiopian girls out here, or when I was getting choosing signals from these girls, because most of the time I get choosing signals. What would happen is I get the choosing signal. Girl be over here, I'll be staring you down. You know what I'm saying? Damn, they're having eye sex with you. You go up, you try to talk to her. Next thing you know, she acting different. She acting funny. She acting like she ain't just was just sitting there looking at you all like this and like that. So this is why I could never be one of those. Oh shit, is my shit cutting out?
You good, you good. Oh, now it went out now.
Yeah, can I hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. So this is why like I could never stay with just with the code approach and stuff, because even with the code approaching, I mean, even with just the choosing signals, I was still getting code approaching results. You get what I'm saying? So even though the girl was giving me all the choosing signals to be able to go over there and talk to her, I'm still getting results the same way I would if I would have went over there and code approaching. So I also want to say this: you have to work up to be able to be a person that can get choosing signals. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to be a dude who never went through the grind of code approaching and not knowing how to talk to women, and then think that you're about to get choosing signals, and then all of a sudden everything is about to be easy for you, because you still got to learn the skill of learning how to talk to women. You feel what I'm saying? So once you have that skill of knowing how to talk to women, maybe you can go on and say, oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like code approaching. I'm gonna wait for them to choose me. Because now you have the skill, you know how to talk, you know how to have the charm, the seductive tools. You can go and talk to any girl that you want to. You get what I'm saying? Because let's say if a girl do give you some choosing signals, right? Hopefully I'm still on. I don't know.
You good.
Okay, I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Okay. Yeah, let's say a girl do give you choosing signals, right? And you never code approach a girl in a day in your life because you listen to somebody on the internet telling you to stop fucking code approaching, just wait for choosing signals. Because you haven't dealt with the pain of getting rejected or learning how to have skills and and developing charm. You're not going to be able to close the deal anyway. So you have to go through that pain of learning how to code approach. It's inevitable. But like I said, you have to build up to be a person to be able to say that you want to just wait on choosing signals. You get what I'm saying? But I do both.
You definitely have to do both for sure. And that's what we were saying earlier. You do need the code approach to learn what to not say, because the choosing signal just makes it easier and gives you more validation that you should, but you still have to know how to talk when you get over there. And the code approaching in the beginning does teach you that.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me see. Pretty much most people are
Definitely
agreeing.
does.
So what do you think about this? He says go out alone is less intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. I think I get choosing signals alone or with other people, but I think women are. I heard this bullshit before, but women seem to be more comfortable when they see you with other people, because for some reason it's like it shows you have a social setting, so it makes it easier. If you're with one other guy, if you're with 10 other guys, 3, 4 other guys, it's not, of course, it's going to be more intimidating for her. But what do you think about that? Do you get better results? Do you get better choosing signals when you're out with somebody or by yourself?
No, I gotta say anything. I never really paid attention but honestly, I get choosing signals when I'm by myself, when I'm with people. It really don't. I don't think it ever really mattered. So I don't know. I never really tried too many times to go out just by myself, like to a club. Like, I see a lot of people do that, but I don't know. It just never felt weird to me. I feel like I'm that weird guy in the corner looking thirsty. So I never really wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you get less choosing signals when you go out to a club alone.
Sure. I can't really speak on that. I'm actually trying now because I never tried it.
So I will say this too. Malcolm says it's better if you're with other women. I will say this for sure. When I first met Crystal and I came over here to Kenya and we hung out again, I would hang out by myself with her and like maybe 6 or 7 of her other friends. And that was the most attention I got from other women at one time. because they're curious, like, who is this mother? How did he get with all those women like that? So now I had this one chick when I was with them. She was looking at us the entire time, and I was like, nah, I'm with them. I'm not even gonna do nothing. Before I knew it, she had a shot glass, right? And when she seen I wasn't picking up on the choosing signal or biting on it, she got the salt. She looked at me, got the shot glass, and licked all the salt off of it. And I said, damn. I said, yeah, I gotta start going out with women instead of men.
You know, in Africa, bro, I've never experienced choosing signals like how I've experienced here. Like girls and back in the States, they don't really they just look at you or whatever, but like the choosing on, I'm gonna have to move. But the choosing signals that you get from women out here in Africa, man, is like it's almost like they ready to just throw themselves right at you. Like I love the way how like African girls give choosing signals out here, man. Like, but at the same time, man, sometimes they do that shit and then they act like they didn't do it. That's one thing that pissed me off about a lot of them. They do that shit, and like especially here when I'm at Ethiopia, one thing that I've seen with them, and people not even gonna believe this, like they'll be with some dudes and they'll be just staring at you, or they'll be with their boyfriend and they'll be, you go in the club and they'll literally just be eye fucking you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit was actually like a shock to me. Yo, let me get on my phone, bro, so I can stop. So this can stop happening. Let me get on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do want to say this. Todd was basically talking about the girl that when you're in Hackney, I think her name was Hackney Ho. Yeah, you definitely want to stay away from those kind of girls, especially. But I mean, to be honest, yeah, I think in the UK, like I said, I've been here 15 years, so I want to go back to what you were saying around that. I definitely think like the culture has 100% like been the American culture has 100% been adopted over here. So and obviously you came like around pandemic times, and literally every year something happens in American culture that gets adopted out here. Like literally, social media is such a big thing. So everything goes viral, and it's instantly taken on board out here. So 100%, like certain things, like you go out. I don't do this, but you go out on dinner dates, and girls are expecting you to spend a couple hundred, whatever, on a dinner date, and that's your first dinner date. Like, listen, for me, those kind of expectations, I don't do that. I only do things like that with like a girl that I'm actively like my girl basically, and that's it. If you're not my girl, whatever, you're not getting that kind of treatment. But I feel like that culture is basically the American culture where girls expect you to spend like $500 on a steak or whatever, and this and that, and pop bottles on a first date. That's definitely happening here right now, and a lot of guys are simps. So it's like they feel like, oh, they got to do that to then. So I feel like part of this conversation around cold approaching, it builds you up so much to the point where it's easy to talk to different girls and it's easy to get to girls. And if you're actually good at interacting with women, you can dress nice, whatever it is. You ain't got to do all of that $500 business on a first date or fly a girl out here to just it's all nonsense anyway. But I do think like when I go back home, for example, for me, I'm basically the way I do things is more of a hybrid, right? So I use cold approaching, and also at the same time, I actively look out for choosing signals. Sometimes if you go out to a club, it's so noisy in the club, you miss out on choosing signals. Almost all the girls look hot, they're dressed nice, big bums, booties flying everywhere, whatever it is. So your head's literally turning left and right, right and left. So sometimes you miss out on these choosing signals. So that's when I feel like cold approaching actually comes in handy, because if you miss a choosing signal and you actually really like the girl, then at least you know you're still putting yourself out there. But if you're not doing any of the cold approaching or whatever it is, she might have noticed you because you're looking at the other girl, you ain't noticed her. So yeah, I definitely think it's just going between both of them and just figuring out what works best for you. It's not one thing kind of fits all. Yeah, basically just doing it that way, really.
James says,
Definitely agree with that, man. It's the way I view it is like you should use the hybrid model where, okay, one party you rely on the choosing signals, then the other party you're relying on the cold approaches, because you got to realize what the other dude on the panel said, and I definitely agree with it. Some girls are too afraid even to show the choosing signs. Like they're kind of shy, so you definitely gotta, approach them and get them out of their comfort zone.
even the
So
shy girls show choosing signals.
no,
Even the shy girls.
I gotta, because there's some. Look, I ran into a situation in the past where I didn't even know that this girl was showing me choosing signals. Come to find out later on, like this girl, like literally was into me. So sometimes girls will not show you the choosing signals. So that's why you should not 100% rely on this. So you should diversify. Cold approach here and there, and at the same time, rely on the choosing signals. Us men are hunters, so it's like you gotta do something. You got women are not gonna. Okay, you're not gonna be the guy where women like all the time approach you and say something to you. Nah, we are hunters. You gotta approach them. We gotta make the first move and go from there.
Well,
And for the guy who lives in Europe, man, let me tell you this, man. I met a lot of European women in South America, in Peru, Colombia, and let me tell you, man, those girls, especially them girls from Belgium and France, if anything, they're kind of way worse than the girls here in the Matrix. It's like they saw that they got that modern thing going on. So it's like, so don't think, Austin, if you go to Europe, at least in Western Europe, things is going to be like the way you've been experiencing in Asia, South America, and Africa. So them European girls don't. Maybe if you go to somewhere in a small village in Romania, you might experience a different aspect. Maybe if you go to like some random town in Turkey, yeah, even though people might not consider Turkey as a European country, that's a debate for next time. But it's you really got to go to them off beaten spots, just to get that you know choosing signals, that aspect going on, that feminine aspect. Because look, I would say a lot of these countries are like like what the British dude said. Uh, the UK people are copying what American people, and sometimes they're like, okay, let's say if they're like a year behind, countries like Thailand, Brazil, and all that, they're like 5 to 10 years behind. So we might look at these Thai Brazilian chicks, and we might be like, oh, okay, they're feminine and all that, but we don't realize that they're like 5 to 10 years behind us. So 10 years from now, don't be surprised when the Brazilian chicks over there start behaving like the Matrix women today.
yeah, I would 100% agree with that because Africa is getting to that point too. I could see in the next 7 years probably it'll be very similar to the states, but right now it's not. The reality is right now it's not, and the time is now. Jane says one thing, Austin Holleman, that will help you is you're not calling women weak. I was not calling women weak. I said some women are weak at sending the stronger choosing signals, meaning that the fast eyes looking this way, looking that way, and I don't even know if you're looking behind me or at the wall or at the TV next to me. That's a weak choosing signal. A strong choosing signal is a stare. I wasn't calling them weak. Don't put words in my mouth. Uh, Men, I'm about to go to you, Todd. Men are hunters like cavemen, I think he meant to say, but we must convince a girl to like you. Where's the logic? Yeah, I did. I did catch that. I caught that. But one thing that somebody did say, Brazilian women love men. Period. I will agree. The most affection I've gotten in the world was in Brazil. Like the most in love feeling, like I'll hang up the player card right now. That was over there. So if they are behind and they will catch up one day, I think it'll be longer than 10 years. But I think in that the way how things are going, I think things will shift where people will see that okay, this masculine shit and this holding my emotions back is not gonna work. Let me let
Because
Todd because I know he
because
went he
because
has
because think about it. A lot of this, like for example, the Afro Latinos over there, they're actually following. And I was looking at one of my Afro Latina girl in Peru. She's actually following Megan Stallion, and this is a girl all the way down in Peru. Like she's following Megan Stallion.
speaks English.
So what is it?
She speaks English.
She doesn't. She only speaks Spanish, but she's following Megan Stallion, Beyonce, all these people,
So
and
for
Megan Stallion.
right now she just playing. She's just playing. She don't really know what's going on until she speaks English. Once she learns English, you need to leave her alone. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Todd.
No, I just, I agree with everyone, man. Like this one thing you got to learn as a human being. Like I've been on the earth 40 decades, and my parents been together, like I said, 64 years. It's really not that complicated, bro. Like if you throw technology at people, you throw social media at people, we see what the results are. The results are they don't even know how to handle it. Like I come from an era, man, where I had to go to a library. I had to really speak to people, communicate with people to get information. When I had to do like a history report, I didn't have Google like some of these people do. And I'll sit here and watch people have phones, cell phones, including females, and they still don't know how to do shit. It's ridiculous. Like the code approach thing is, to me, if I can sit here and go somewhere else and talk to somebody and have a good conversation, that conversation can lead to a date. That conversation can lead to being in a relationship. When you putting standards on things, because you're social media craze, or you influenced by America, then you have a problem with anybody, not just a female. Like you're gonna have a problem with anybody. But everywhere I went, all the places I've been in the UK, Germany, I've been in Frankfurt, Auschwitz, all these places, bro. I've been in Italy, Rome, I've been in Croatia. I've never had an issue with communicating with people. So it's like, yeah, could have slept with this woman? Yeah, but I was obviously with the girl from the UK. So I wasn't finna be, in another country trying to be a player. Like that's not finna happen. I don't know. I don't want to wake up with a knife in the side of my head. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, all that I'm explaining is it wasn't hard to communicate with people in different countries. Just like when I went to Toronto, Canada, it wasn't that difficult. It's just like just be you at the end of the day, and when you're yourself and you communicate with other people, you can tell if they're influenced by America. You can tell if they're influenced by social media. You can tell just based off the conversation, and then from there, like, oh no, I don't want to deal with that.
Yo, bro, I don't mean to even cut you off, bro. But I just want to piggyback off of what you were saying, man. And you were saying how you came back. I mean, not that you came back, but that how you were from a older generation, right? And you had to go out and talk to people. You had to go out and build a social presence and a personality. See, the problem with the guys today, right? Their problem is that they don't have to go do that. What they get to go do is they get to get their ass on YouTube and search a motherfucker like me and then try to study me through the damn computer and think that they can get some experience that way. And then they go out there and they go talk to the fucking women and then they don't have their own true natural personality. And then they like, yo, man, the bitches over here weird as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Because they fallen victim to what I call the microwave age, right? You get what I'm saying? Because they don't want to actually go out there and put the work in. See, if you talk to a lot of people back from like the 1980s, the 70s, the 60s, they all have really unique personalities.
And the reason that is because they had to go outside and really put in work. They had to go outside and talk to people. They had to go outside and build their own name. Today, you get to just eat. You could just eat off of anybody. You know what I'm saying? You could just, you know what I'm saying? You could just go and just steal somebody's old personality. Back in the day, bro, you couldn't have the same song as somebody else, bro. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't write the same book as somebody else. You had to make your own shit. Everybody is trying to steal everybody else's personality without going out and doing the work and making their own personality. That's what they don't understand, bro. That's what true masculinity is, man. When you go out and you pave your own fucking way, man. There's no easy way to this shit. You have to go down the steep fucking road of discipline of doing something that you don't like. Men, we're built to do that type of shit, man. That's just what we were supposed to do. We were not built to sit in the house on the fucking computer trying to find out how to do shit.
When I was young, I was wearing Tommy Hilfiger. I was wearing Nautica, Sean John and Fat Form and all that other shit. We used to go to the mall, man, to buy these clothes, and we would meet chicks at the same time. Like when we had the jean outfits, we was wearing like on the West Coast back in the early 2000s. If you look like a cat from New York, you got plenty of attention. And it's just crazy. Like none of that even matters anymore. It's like, bro, like you get online, bro. These chicks be fucking with the weirdest niggas, bro. Like I don't mean to even cuss like that, but messing with the weirdest dudes. And chicks be like, oh, I like this dude this tall. But then look at her baby daddy. Her baby daddy is like 5'5", 5'4". She like 5'10". You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I like chocolate dudes. But why is your baby daddy light skinned?
Man, yo, I don't know why, and that's what I be trying to debunk a lot of shit, man. I don't know why niggas listen to women that talk on the internet, man. They have a camera in front of their face, bro. They're gonna say shit, and like you cannot take their words for face value when they're talking on the internet, bro, because they have a camera in their face. So when a woman has a camera in her face, by nature, by just them being heard, having a herd mentality, they're going to say everything good. They're gonna try to make themselves look polished. Oh, I want a dude with 100K. I want a dude who's fucking Superman. When they out here fucking those dirtiest niggas, bro. Like, how is these bitches?
Yeah,
how is these bitches pregnant, bro? You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, I can't listen to these bras, bro. That's why I don't listen to women. I don't listen to nothing that come out their mouth, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen. I don't care, bro, because I know how they are. They just talk, bro. And that's what they do. They politically fucking correct, bro. So, like, these bitches, but they still out here getting pregnant by the same goofy ass niggas, bro. And niggas be listening to, oh, they said they want 100,000. So what? I don't give a fuck what she said. You feel me?
Look at the Jeezy situation.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, I mean, look at the situation with these chicks are doing to these guys. They be like, okay, on the first date, you got to take them to a certain restaurant. So guys are paying $300 dinner dates, while at the same time, the car they taking her out to the dinner, they're financing that car with a high interest rate. They're financing that Dodge Challenger, like that costs $60,000 with 35% interest rate. Then they take these two, but then at the end of the night, they only get just a hug. Meanwhile, that following night she going to that goofy ass nigga and she's smashing him for free, and that dude has nothing going for him in his life. So here's the thing: women make rules for certain guys. Women break rules for other guys. So if she's making rules for you, there's high chances she doesn't like you. Point blank, period.
That's 100%. That's
And I want you guys to
100%.
keep this in mind when I tell you this. When I was in jail 8 months. Now, I wasn't in prison. I was in jail. Because if I was in jail, I wouldn't have been able to travel to the UK. A white guy walked up to me. We was in a rec yard. Me and my homeboy. We was up in there. And he was like, you know what? It ain't about how big your dick is. We was looking at him like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, no, just hear me out. He was like, you had the biggest penis in the world. She gonna cheat on you with the dude with the smallest penis. He was like, you can have a house. She gonna cheat on you with the dude that got the room next to his mama, living with his mama. You can have a car. She gonna cheat on you with the dude that catch the bus. And he was like, bro, it don't matter.
Look what happened to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is rich as fuck, then he got cheated on by his fucking own personal trainer. Like he cheated on him with his personal trainer and his chef, and
Well,
he's like a million, he's like 1,000 times net worth more than them.
well,
So
he's already on the West Coast. He debunked it, so it's supposed to just been a rumor or whatever. Discredited him. I mean, you can look it up on YouTube. He clearly stated, like, he was claiming his girl. He didn't say his wife. He said his girl. She been down for me. She looks out for me. She makes her own money. Ain't none of this stuff true. That's what he said. I don't know. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Just expect, when you're dealing with a certain type of female, that if you got all the money, bro, she gonna sleep with the dude to catch the bus, bro. If you got the house, she gonna sleep with the dude that don't have a house, and vice versa. It don't matter. Matters is the chemistry. If she don't have no chemistry, she can't do her own thing. And look, there's one good thing I'm gonna tell you, and these are facts. Russell Simmons ain't never paid no child support. Never. Why he didn't pay no child support? When he got with her, he invested her in the stock market. Not only did he have fat for him, she had baby fat. So when they broke up, there was no alimony, no child support, nothing. He is the most successful man that's never paid child support or alimony out of any rich person that I can think of to this day. You look at Kevin Costner right now. He just got a divorce. The amount of money he's paying. Russell Simmons has never paid child support. He has never paid alimony because he made sure his woman made her own money. And that's the thing you got to think when you get with a chick. Like, I got a wholesale license. Any girl I've been with, like, the wholesale license free. You can do this, you can do that. You can actually save yourself from child support and alimony by getting her to do what you're doing. And that's exactly what Russell Simmons did. That's exactly what he did.
that's facts, man. Look, and this is why when people say, "Oh, you got to focus on money," see, the money thing is for your own good. It's for your own purpose in life. It's for your, you can use that to actually improve your own quality of life. And it gives you abundance in life. So don't think, "Oh, I need money to attract women." It doesn't work that way. It's been proven many times that rich dudes get cheated on by dudes who ain't got shit. Like, so just use the money for your own good, for your own purpose, and improve your own quality of life. To make yourself better. Maybe you can use that money to hire that personal trainer. You can use that money to go on these trips. So don't ever think, "Oh, I need money to attract women." It doesn't work that way. There has to be. I definitely agree with you. There has to be some kind of chemistry between you and a girl, and a lot of times the way you can catch it, if you a guy with if you guy with just average emotional intelligence, you can tell if she's really into you because of your money or as you as a person. So you gotta bond. You gotta find somebody you that you can connect with on a deeper level.
What I always say is, if a woman's
disagree.
with you for the money, she's most likely probably gonna leave you for someone else with some more money, right?
No,
And to be honest, a lot of the times, yeah, a lot of these situations that are happening, like obviously you're talking about Steve Harvey, Kevin Costner, and all these other people. You don't really hear about big situations like this back home in Africa. If these things don't really happen how they play out in America, in Africa, like it back home, if you're with a woman, and let's say you're married, whatever it is, it ends, right? And 9 times out of 10, things are dealt with culturally, traditionally, right? And when it comes to the courts, aren't really involved. Once the courts start getting involved, then it just goes tits up, right? If you've got kids with the woman, then you might have to work out an arrangement with the family, whatever it is. But I feel like when it comes to the American situations, all these celebrities and in media and stuff like that, it really doesn't play out like that back home. And I think that's why a lot of guys are kind of just looking at those situations play out and thinking, all right, okay, so this is how it's planning out where I'm at in America or the UK, wherever you are, back home, it makes a lot more sense for me if I'm financially free, if financially independent, and a situation like this happens to me back home, it's less likely for me to end up pretty much run down, right? And all of my assets gone, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just thought I'd chip in with that.
Could I chip in, Auston? Hello?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
So I know, Austin, you're in Africa, so you can do this, see this. I think relationship dynamics are all about interests. So if your interests align, that's when you're gonna get her. So for example, if you're the guy with a big house, with a big bankroll, and you married this chick, along the way, somewhere along the way, your interests kind of don't align. And she has to find a replacement for that. And it comes in form of a pool boy, in form of a trip to Jamaica, whatever that is. It comes down to that. It's not the money. The money is just an entry point to everything. Like often I'm Kenyan, by the way, but I live in Vancouver. And the trait in Kenyan women, I can talk to this specifically, is they want either American guys, white guys, as a class system. They want a step up. And that step up is to either show their family or friends, like, hey, I'm in a different type of league. And with that, it creates an introduction of, hey, let me kind of bamboozle this guy so this guy can marry me or do something for me so I could get a visa to the States. Then when they get to the States or Canada or Europe, it's a totally different game altogether. So I look at it as when the pimps say it's a trick, you're either a trick or a pimp. It's truly, you're either a trick or a pimp. So if you have, like with me, I've kind of created like, I'd call it toll gates, whereby if a chick, I have a budget, like a real ass budget. I never go out of that budget. Even if I get tricked out or fucking manipulated in my head, they're not gonna get any money from me because I only have a set amount of budget, right? So that's just my little thing. It doesn't matter where you are. The women are still the same. They have this mentality. We have this mentality. It's all about interest. And when you know where the line of scrimmage is, that's all you have to know. If you step out of that square, guess what? You're a trick. Right? That's it.
We about to wrap it up in about 5 minutes, so go ahead and elaborate a little more, or y'all touch on it. Y'all respond to him because I'm about to wrap this up in about 5 minutes.
Motorcycle. Only thing I would say is, Austin, I agree with you. Everything that you post, everything that you say. I mean, for your age, man, you're like highly mature. I mean, obviously you was raised right. You got a lot of patience, and you don't have a lot of patience for a lot of things, which is a damn good thing, man, because it can save you wasting time. And one thing I can tell with you, you do not like wasting time.
No.
That's all I gotta say, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll talk on the back end. We talk all the time.
You're a good kid. Like my mom, like final words, my mom to this day still prays for you. She still asks about you. She wonders where you are. My mom is like your grandma, man. She cares about you, and she prays for you all the time.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, personally, I was just basically gonna say, all the videos that you're popping out, I feel like at the moment you're popping out a video, 2 videos a day at this point, right? At some point, but I think, yeah, it's really good for the space and definitely entertaining, just flying between countries and stuff like that. Some of the countries you've been to, I do want to go to as well. So it's given me kind of like an outsider perspective. But yeah, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. What countries are you interested in going to that I've been to that you haven't been to?
So you've been to Ghana. I definitely want to go to Ghana. I feel like the reason why I haven't gone to Ghana yet is because I feel like just the American culture as well. So it's like I try and stay away from countries that adopt too much of the American culture if I'm going to travel, basically, just because obviously I don't want the same thing I'm getting in the UK or same thing happening in America. So Ghana, I'd definitely say one that's been on my list, but I've just kept on pushing it back just because they adopt too much of that American culture.
Okay. I could agree because Ghana has for sure adapted, but that's why I'm in Kenya. They're modern. They have some things that may be similar, but for the most part, it's not so American. It's not so
Yeah.
American. But like RB was saying, they do have, like he said, a trick or a pimp. That is. I'm noticing that's very, very, very fucking true here.
And Austin, because my parents are in Nairobi and I'm coming over for the holidays. I'm coming like end of November. I don't know if you'll still be there, but I'd like to catch a cigar with you, man. I see you like them a lot. I've never commented on your stuff. Today I just found like I've been watching your videos for years, but today I was like, damn, you're in your StreamYard, so let me join in and kind of powwow with you a little bit. Like, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I should still be here. We can definitely meet. I'll still be here. It depends on how long you'll be here, though. In November.
I'll be there from end of November to uh, beginning of February. So, yeah.
I'll for sure be here then. I'll for
Yeah,
sure.
then I'll come with some cigars too because I got like I got like 200 cigars that I obviously can't finish it by then, but for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I would
Like
hope you
good
could
stuff
by
too.
then. I would hope
Yeah.
not.
No,
That would be
no,
good.
no. Good stuff. Good stuff. Like I've literally watched you, and I would say something that I really like about, let's say, even the channel and stuff, is you smoking a cigar and just sitting there. Like it just gives me like this, this vibe that not many people realize about a cigar. Like gentlemen can literally sit there, smoke a cigar, and talk about so many things, but the vibe isn't this thing outside. But yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll meet very soon whenever you get out here. I'll be here for sure in that time frame.
I'll
I'm gonna
keep in
read this.
touch.
Chat. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Send me an email too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna read the super chat after this comment. He said all the people in here now are not the same people that commented on the videos. They're usually simps. I will say, there's been a lot of women that I brought on the channel that you need to marry her, you need to do this and that. And I'm even the women that are on the videos are agreeing, like, they don't even know me. And then me and the woman might fall out. I don't fall out with all of them, but like we might fall out. And I'd be like, yeah, what happened to those guys that said, like, oh, I've been all around the world, I was in the military. This is a good woman. You need to wife her. And then there's a video that comes out, she's getting nutted on the face. So we need to do it. We still got,
I
we
didn't
still
see
got
that
some
one
growing
coming.
as Americans, we still got some growing to do on how to read women. And we need to learn how to not just say, hey, like that's a wife. Not everybody is a damn wife.
But they play this traditional role, though. Let's say even in Kenya, I know the Kenyan chicks have this. They play this traditional role very well. That somebody might see you with them, and they'll be like, "That's a wife material." But then you come and find out this other sneaky shit around it, which
Yeah,
which is,
you got to do your background checks if you're planning on settling down out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
we
finally,
need to, as
when I
Americans, we need to understand time.
right, you don't waste time, and that's what I love about Austin. He does not waste time. And
yeah.
when I was in Hackney, her friend told me, she called me on WhatsApp. She's like, "Watch when you come to Hackney, you gonna see." I had all kind of men walking up to me like, "Hey, you know she get around." But like, for 2 hours, got to hear some shit. that I deal with in Compton. Like, I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like, Austin is right. It doesn't matter where you go. You're going to come across the same type of women. The mindset is the same. You know, it just, it blew me away. 3 different men walked up to me like, yeah, you get her drunk, you can do this. I'm like, oh shit. So he said, yeah, she got videos of this on. There's another thing you need to pay attention with females and social media. And I'm gonna leave this final thought. If she got a Snapchat, if she got a now formerly, formerly known as Twitter as X, if she got all these platforms, go look at her pictures. If she taking certain pictures, you already know what type of female she is. If she claiming this dude is her friend, every time you get into it with her, it's a new dude, it's her friend. Bro, she don't even know these people. And a lot of times, what's going on right now, these chicks are low-key prostituting themselves for free. I'm just keeping it 100. They're not making no money. They're not getting no OnlyFans. They're not doing live streams. They're low-key doing shower shows, showing their body parts, all on social media, and dudes are screen recording this and making money off it. So,
And in my tool bag, I normally like look at things. For example, like they normally say judge character, and that's something I really, really judge. So let's say I'm going on a dinner with a nice date. I'd be there. We'd have a nice dinner, and at the end of the dinner, I'll be quick to grab the check. Right? If the chick says, "Oh, let me give a tip or something, let me add to it," and she just sits there like cockeyed and just looking around, I'm like, at the end of that date, that would be the last time she sees me. I don't care about the pussy because like I'll kind of know what mentality she's on. It costs me like a few bucks. It doesn't matter, but those few bucks would rather tell me who the type of person I'm dealing with, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me read this super chat. Roger sends a $50 super chat. He says, Austin, I appreciate your videos. You are the big reason I will be leaving Fort Lauderdale and be in Nairobi this Thursday. Make sure you reach out to me in my email, and I'll show you around while you're over here this weekend for sure. And I appreciate that super chat. But y'all, I'm about to wrap it up. I got to get back on routine. It's Monday. And,
Awesome.
Get back to doing 2 more vlogs a day again because drinking over the weekend, I almost didn't post shit yesterday. There's a reason why alcohol is not good for you.
I agree.
Yeah, Austin, you can have like this little meetups once in a while for the fans. I think like this adds more to the content and the organicness of it. And I'll tell everybody like watching and stuff like that, just go to Kenya. Kenya is a vibe. It's like to get away from the nonsense type of vibe, Like us in the Western world over here, I've been in Vancouver for near my entire life, but I go to Kenya to kind of dust off the dust, and then come back.
And the good thing about Kenya is there's different vibes everywhere. I've only been to Mombasa and Nairobi, but Nairobi has its own vibe, and Mombasa had its own vibe. It depends on what you're looking for. But I'm gonna travel to the other cities nearby while I'm out here. But
go to Kisumu. Kisumu is Lake City, like in Victoria. It's not too far off from, but their chicks over there, they have like big asses and like they're just built different, and the vibe over there is pretty fun too.
Wow, I'll be going there for sure.
You need the watermelons and the twin sisters. They got them over there. You'll be dazed.
I'll go there for sure. I'll go there for sure. Now you brought that up, but I appreciate y'all coming through. We'll do this. We'll try to do this every Sunday then.
Okay, no worries. Thanks a lot, man. I'll message you.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.